everybody. Welcome to the pre-show, the pre-game, if you will, for the live stream, Friday night Stay Fishy live stream. It's me, your favorite host, of course, Big Rich. Jerry is somewheres and Josh is somewheres. I don't know. But I'm here. I'm always here for you, for sure. Oh, my God. This has been one hell of a week, let me tell you. We worked outside in 97-degree, blistering sunlight, getting this yard sale together. And we sweated so much. And, you know, me, I was in sheer black shorts, black shirt. And it wasn't until somebody else said something, I'm like, you know what? It might have been a little bit easier if I wore like a different color, but all of my clothes mostly are black. So I dealt with it. Actually, let me pour this into here. Drinking from two different cups. But I am so sore. This heat has wore me out. We've been doing so much. I don't know if you saw Reaper's video where we got one tent set up, and today we got a second tent set up, and it's even bigger. I didn't remember my tents being this big that I had stored away in the closet, but they're huge. And then we got out of the yard sale, you know, Reaper came over and helped me. He had, I forget what other people were here, but they pretty much emptied 2/3 out of that carport, brought it out to here. Wait, can you guys hear good? Everything's good? I don't see nothing about it. Oh. Come on, answer me. Can you hear? Is it okay? Last week we had a problem with the sound for some reason. Okay, finally. Raheem says, yeah, you're good, Rich. Or no, that was Tyler. Tyler, thank you, Tyler. All right. So anyways, they carried everything out, and I'm like, Reap, stop. I need to put plastic on those tables, and then I need to put stuff on it organized. And he's like, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. No, you're carrying stuff out, and you're stacking it on these tables. And, you know, I'm going to have to move everything off of there just to put plastic on and then move everything back on. I was like, let's just, if you let me back there, I'll tell you what box needs to go what, you know, near what table, and that'll be next to what it needs to be sorted to. And it didn't end up working out that way. So they just covered everything, which I appreciate the help. But anyways, it all got done. And we've got probably a 15-foot by 20-foot spot under the carport there, the overhang, that we still have to bring out. But we've got 3 tables up, covered with plastic, and now organized on top. And nothing under them. Now everything's down the driveway. We've got a bunch of tanks set up, and we're setting up more every day. So it's getting done, but I've only got 9 more days to go until the sale. But 3 of those days is going to be rain. One of those days is going to be 4th of July tomorrow. So out of those 9 days, I only got 5 more days to set up. So, and then the last day or 2 is going to have to be, you know, tagging everything with a price. We have to go get stickers and put stickers on everything. So yeah, it's getting down to the wire. We're getting, you know, it's going to be close. We'll probably be setting up while people are shopping. All right, let me go here. I think Jenna says, yeah, do it once, not 5 times. For sure. I always try and work smarter. But guys, a little update on the ribs. You know, Reaper hurt his too. So we're both sitting there with broken ribs. Mine are rebroke after 7 days, because I always told you guys, after the first 5 days, ribs don't hurt that bad. Which I mean is, the first 5 days, you can't sneeze, cough, laugh, anything. It hurts so bad. And then not only does it hurt, but your muscles take over and spasm on top of it. Like wherever you, let's say you sneeze, and you're like, ow, 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 ow. Now your muscle takes over and gets tighter, and then it relaxes. So that makes it hurt worse. All that stops after like 5 days of broken ribs, 6 days of broken ribs. Then the only thing that, hurts anymore is when you lay down in bed, it takes a while to transition to laying down and putting your weight on your ribs on whatever side, your back, your belly, whatever. And it takes a while before it don't hurt. And then getting up out of bed hurts so bad. I got a stripper pole next to my bed, and it used to be used for stripping. That stripping pole next to my bed is now a old age aid. I mean, I grab it and I get up out of bed. Ow, 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 ow. I pull myself up. It hurts so bad. Oh my God. So as far as the ribs go, they're healing up. But after the first 7 days, I fell again. I was helping my neighbor out and was push starting his motorcycle, and I fell and re-broke the broken ribs. And I'm telling you what, it's been about 7 days now, and they have not let up. They still hurt so bad. I can breathe in like, so that ain't bad. That normally that would kill me. It ain't doing that. But the amount of soreness, like bone sore, that is there is nonstop, and I can't twist or turn, at all. It hurts. But I'm getting past it. It's getting better. It's getting better for sure. Dio says we should get a Big Richard Bitchin' Kitchen or Big Richard's Bitchin' Kitchen for the 4th cookout. I would love to, but you know what, guys? I don't have anybody else to video for me, and 9 times out of 10, I forget the video when we're doing shit. We're just so busy here. When you're doing a tour and there's a knock at the door, and then you got somebody dropping off fish, and there's a knock at the door, and there's somebody here wanting to get fish, and then you're dealing with this. Oh yeah, I got to go back over here and deal with this person, and then Josh shows up, and you're like, hey, this tank over here is leaking. Can you get to that? I'm doing this, blah blah blah, and then I get a phone call from one of Tracy's doctors, and I'm on that for like 20 minutes, and I come back. Oh shit, I had a tour, and I go back to the tour, and then I'm talking to the other people, and then I'm it's like being here and everybody's pulling your hair in like 7 different directions all at once, all the time. I just forget to video. And this is exactly why there wasn't a video today. Right now on my phone, I've got about 8 minutes of video from like 2 days ago. I'm going to add to it tomorrow morning and put it out for you guys, a Saturday video, because I did not, this is entirely my fault. I take responsibility for it. I did not get a video out today. So I'm trying to read you guys' comments as I'm talking. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate the kind words. Well, I'm not saying it's healed up. Who said this? Jonathan Middleton, it looks like. Says it took months for his ribs to heal up. I've broken my ribs so many times, probably somewhere near the 10 to 14 times. I'm just saying the worst is over with in the first 5 days. You can't breathe. You can't yawn. You can't laugh. You can't sneeze. You can't cough. It kills you. I mean, absolutely destroys you. After that, then it's just sore ribs, and it takes months for that to heal up and go away. So that's all I meant. I didn't mean it heals up in 5 days, 6 days. What's this one say? I can't see this. Hang on, let me wipe my glasses. All right. No, still can't see it. I'm gonna have to turn up the. Okay, now you're up to 100%. Still can't see it. D Dasher, I guess. The Dasher says, forgot the video means forget to get paid. then complain not enough money from YouTube. That sounds pretty rude, but I'm going to forgive that. I did forget the video, and I do forget the video, but I don't complain that, I don't do enough videos. I don't complain that, I forgot. I took full responsibility of my forgetting a video. I forgot what day it was, and I just didn't record. I didn't have enough time to get it out. I had to stay up and watch Tracy. I can't video in the middle of the night when it's pitch black. And I can't go out of the house because I watch Tracy on my phone. I can't be out there videoing. So I was just done. There was no way to finish this video. So I'm not complaining, but I am complaining about not enough money from YouTube because our money went down and we didn't change a thing. We actually got more viewers now. We were making, $7,000 a month, but now we're down to 2,200, 2,300 a month. They've changed their payment policies, and so is everybody else. We get less from Facebook, less from Instagram, less from TikTok, to where Josh is getting ready to stop, posting on a couple of sites because they pay so little. It's not worth it. I mean, if you see us on TikTok, we've got almost 1 million followers, 850,000 or something like that. And we get like $93 a month. It's ridiculous. We only got 185,000 on YouTube, and we get to 2,300 a month. Yes, it was more when we only had 150,000, and we didn't change nothing. We actually got more followers, and now it's less money because they're taking more money. So yeah, I'm going to complain about that. Lloyd Watkinson says, "How was your bike ride, Rich, when you went out with your boys?" It was so amazing. It was so great. I mean, just riding that bike when your feet are in front of you and your arms are in front of you, you got the feeling like, get out of my way. I mean, it just makes you feel so good to be sitting on that bike. Let alone, I had my son in front of me on a Harley and my son behind me on a Harley. And then on top of that, they were making sure that we didn't get pulled over and I was protected in the middle because I didn't have a license. I don't have a motorcycle endorsement yet. I haven't gone out to get it. They've been waiting on that. That day we went out riding, and I went out without a motorcycle endorsement. And, all this is a ticket, I know, but they still protected me. So I'm riding in the middle like a king. My boys care about me. Look at both my boys on these badass Harleys. I'm in the middle of here. This is just, everything about it was great. We got to stop at some great places down in the park and see, you see that waterfall? Oh my God, that was amazing. And the places where we stopped, it was all just beautiful. The whole ride was like a father's dream. Like, if I'm on my deathbed, I want to go do that again with my boys because that was amazing. So the only thing I'd change is I'd add a back seat on there and have Tracy right behind me. Okay, Crazy Cichlid says, "Rich, why don't you and Josh get yourselves a warehouse and start a money-making business as well as a rescue? Surely it makes sense. Then Josh goes full-time there. You see Rod and others do it." Well, we run a rescue. We don't have a for sale business. And I get where you're coming from, but that takes a lot of startup money. All my money's tied up into all my properties. My kids' money's tied up into their properties. And together we got all these properties. But see, you guys think, oh, property owners, they must be making thousands. Let's see, then you have people who know the system and they get, 3 months of free rent and, $1,200 a month rent times 3, that's $3,600 out of your pocket. You're not getting, and then you got to pay court costs and all that to get them removed from there. So it doesn't work out as well as everybody thinks. In the end, it works out because after, 40 years of owning property, you've got a bunch of them paid off and now you got money coming in. You still have them same problems. And I swear to God, every year I want to sell all my properties and say, screw it. I deal with the public. But that's not the public I deal with here. In this, fishy world, in this fishy situation where we run the rescue and we're surrounded by good people, that's the only thing that stopped me because in the public world where I'm dealing with renters and all this stuff, and them, I know my rights and this and that, blah blah. Jesus Christ, you know, it costs me so much, and I'm just so sick of everybody trying to take advantage that I want to sell my properties and just get out of it. You know, my kids have even told me the same thing. Dad, sell everything, take your money and go live a vacation for the rest of your life. I told them that, no, I've worked all my life so that I have something to leave my children. I'm not going to go waste it now. But, and to me, it is a waste of, okay, here you have so much money in the bank, or you have so many properties. You sell these properties, now you got nothing. You got the money, and then you waste it on a vacation for, let's say, 4 years. And now I'm back home. I got no properties. I got no money in the bank. I can't do that to my children. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know. And not to mention, you were talking about complaining earlier. It's about 3,400 a month to run this rescue, and we only make about 2,200, 2,300 a month from the YouTube channel. So everything else is coming out of my pocket. Yeah, of course I get a write-off on my taxes, but that don't help much. See, people think, oh, a write-off. Oh, you're going to get a write-off of your taxes. That's going to be great. They don't understand. Okay, let's say I put in $1,000 a month for easy mathematician. That's $12,000 a year I donate to the Ohio Fish Rescue. All right. Out of my money I make all year long, now I don't have to pay taxes on that $12,000. That's a couple $100. It ain't worth it to spend $1,000 a month to get a couple $100 a month of write-off at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? People think, oh, tax write-offs. Like, oh, when people come here and they're like, oh, if I donate this, can you give me a tax write-off? I'm like, I can give you a receipt you can use on your tax write-off, and I give them the receipt for what they think it's value. Oh, this is worth $200. There you go. $200. You're going to get, I don't know, 12, $14 of a write-off. It ain't much. It's people think these write-offs you're going to get rich off these write-offs. You don't. As far as let's go back to this question. As far as the warehouse, we've thought about it many times. We just don't have the capital, the extra money to go buy a warehouse that may or may not work out. And now we got to pay bills on 2 different places, or we got to move all these tanks from here, which I don't think any one of you people in the world would want to come here and help us move these tanks to the new warehouse. And if we did that and was running a fish store, for one, we wouldn't sell any monsters unless you pre-ordered it. You want it, we'll get it for you. But we're not going to sell, any iridescent sharks, any red tail cats, so that we're stuck with saltwater or freshwater community fish. And that lowers the sale a little bit. See, the way pet stores get by is they sell anything for any amount of money and don't give a shit. I couldn't be like that. I mean, yeah, it would be another. But see, I'm 62. I'm done with all my endeavors. I mean, I was a bouncer at night, 4 nights a week. I played out 3 nights a week, and then I painted cars during the day, and then during the middle of the night, I went and laid carpet, and then in the evenings, I worked on neighbors' cars. And I mean, my house was always full of, I was the house on the street that had a bunch of hot rods out front and a bunch of guys sitting there drinking beer and a few people working on a car. That was my house. And I never ever took time off. And now I really don't want to take on another endeavor. I'm tired. Unless I had someone willing to come here and help take care of Tracy, I just couldn't do it. I can't do it because I never know. Like, I never know if I have a nurse. I get calls 15 minutes before the shift. Oh, this nurse can't make it tonight. Okay, well, what do you expect me to do? Oh, well, you have to fill in. I'm already doing 90 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? No, I got to fill in that 12 hours for that nurse because they didn't have a chance to find anybody else. I mean, it's a bad situation. Uh, There's this Jesus Lizard said Joey found out the hard way why opening a store is a bad idea. Man, he likes to think that he's, made of money. He likes to think he's God. He likes to think he's the best. He's the shit. He's the, everything. But that man has hardly any money. He wastes all of his money, and he has this little shit house that the only thing good about his house is the fish room that everybody on the internet paid for. I mean, he raised $80,000 for that fish room. And he came here and he was just mesmerized. I'm just some poor son of a bitch that worked his way out of the gutter. And he was like, holy shit. Oh my God, this place is so big. How did you do it, brother? And he was just mesmerized, He's I don't know. If I had the money he had, I'd have so much more for sure. Crazy Cichlid says, yeah, but your warehouse would be amazing. Selling fish and getting drunk. Now, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to go there? You know what? I'm all for drinking, but you know what? I stopped drinking a lot. When you guys don't see, I just stopped drinking because it's not needed. I drink when people are around, with people. And actually, if nobody was around, I could work all week and then I would only drink on Fridays, which is what I did for like 3 months there. And then lately, it's been a lot of people been over, so I've been drinking a lot lately. To where yesterday I just said I got to stop drinking. This is just getting out of hand. Maritza, oh, Maritza's here. Says was going to come out for the sale, but wasn't sure what was going on. Come on out. I've got extra tents. I just put up a second huge tent today, the size of this room. And I've got a third tent in a bag I haven't even put up yet, just in case other people wanted to come out. But yeah, come on out. You're more than welcome. Thomas Birch says, Rich, do you have a room on your property where you're at now to put up a small warehouse? No. We're only allowed one outhouse building, and I have it out there. It's a 12 by 16 barn. And to build my new barn, which I swore I was going to do this summer, we haven't got to it yet. I have to tear down that barn. So Steve Peter says, wonder how Tracy's doing. You're going to have to wait until 6:30. Every Friday at 6:30 is the Tracy update. Summer Lee says, I quit drinking 8 years ago and haven't smoked in 4 days. Good luck on that. I admire that. That's great. But see, I've never had a problem with drinking. I've stopped for, I don't know, 2 years at a time, 6 months at a time, a month, a couple weeks. When I feel like I don't want to wake up this hangover no more, I stop drinking. So I don't have like a addiction, sort of say. I enjoy drinking. I still have fun drinking. So when I have people over, yeah, I want to drink. So I mean, it's something I choose to do, not something I'm addicted to. I've walked away from everything. Back in the 80s, I was messed up with so much, drugs around, and I walked away from all that one day, and I've never touched Coke or anything since the 80s. I walked away from it. That was it. Can you give us a little teaser about Tracy? Has she seen her new deck? Well, Thomas, I have had her outside. I can't tell you whether she's seen it, but I know she's been there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's seeing because sometimes she looks directly at me. Sometimes she looks like she's gazing past me and don't even see me. So, I don't know. Harry says, I don't understand these people that call off for a shift, how they afford life with less income. If I could work 12 hours a day, I would. Not everybody's like that, Eric. God bless you, but not everybody's like that. Jesus Lizard says, I get sick after 5 or 6 beers, so it's no fun for me. There you go. No reason for you to drink. See, people get high and they think they're having a good time. Doesn't matter what other people see. Other people might see you and say, damn, you're slow as fuck, bro. But they don't see that. They know how they feel inside, and they feel like this is how I need to feel when people are around. So then they keep on, getting high. Same thing with drunks. You ever try and tell a drunk that, hey, you've drunk too much? Oh, fuck that. I'm fine. I can drive. No problem. They just don't listen because they think in their mind they're having so much fun. They're doing so good that, anything anybody else says is wrong. Well, I do feel that way when I drink. I have a great time. And that's why, a lot of times I quit drinking just for the simple fact I got to tell myself or show myself that I'm not addicted. And I quit drinking for, let's say, I set a 30-day policy, and I don't drink for that 30 days. And my friends are calling me like, what's up, bro? Nothing. What do you mean, what's up? You don't seem like yourself. I'm like, dude, it's just me. What do you want? Why'd you call? Because when I'm not drinking, I'm like, I'll answer the door like, who are you? What do you want? Get to the point. Why are we here? You know what I'm saying? And when I'm drinking, I answer the door, what's up? Yeah. People know me as one way, and they don't really know me the other way. I'm all work the other way. So Dale Max says it's too expensive to drink regularly in the UK. Wow. Okay. Marissa says, what's the plan for tomorrow, Big Rich, for the 4th? I set up tents way far away from the fire pit, and that's where we're going to light off the fireworks too. So I don't have no plans. I don't know if you remember. I think you were here, Maritza. Last year, that guy that he said, where can I go to the bathroom? I'm like, well, walk on over there at the end of the deck, go down the steps, and go over to the woods, and you can piss right in the woods. And then he called me. This is so fucking funny. He calls me, and he goes, Rich. I'm like, yeah? He goes, dude. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't know where I'm at. I'm like, well, take a look around and see where you're at. And he goes, I'm at a church. I'm like, dude, how fucking far did you walk into the woods? Because I don't know a church anywhere near my house. I'm like thinking he walked really far into the woods. And Sue Ann was definitely here. Here, I'm talking to him for about 5 more minutes, and then he moans, oh. And I heard it in the phone, and I heard it out my ear. I'm like, wait a minute. You're close enough to where I can hear you. Where are you? He goes, dude, I'm at the church. I'm like, moan again, and I get up and start walking. Here, he had walked to the end of my deck and didn't take a left and went down the steps and went over to the... He walked to the end of my deck, stepped off the deck, and face planted into the ground. Fucking, this was hilarious. Oh, my God. He laid there for I don't know how long and then called me. Oh, my God. It wasn't a church. It was the lattice on the side of my deck he saw and thought it was a church. This shit was funny as shit. We laughed so damn hard. They're coming back tomorrow. Him, his girlfriend, and then the other girl that came up from Texas with him, they're all coming back. Oh, my God. It was so funny. They're bringing a bunch of fireworks, too. He's falling and he can't get up. Dude, this is the funniest thing because I'm literally trying to figure out where the hell he is. He says he's at a church. You drunk ass went to a church? I don't even know a church near my house. I'm freaking out. I'm like, how far did you walk into the woods? I'm thinking maybe he's at the neighbor's back door of their house. Maybe they got like a statue of like St. Mary or something in their backyard. He thinks that I'm oh my God. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh yeah. Rick was sleeping with the fishes that night for sure. So that's our plans. Y'all come out if you want. I have an extra bedroom, and I have 3 tents to set up. I've got 2 of them set up already. Maritza says that was so funny. You got the video, Maritza. No way. Wow, cool. Yeah, they're all three of them are coming back tomorrow. He just called me a little bit ago and asked me what time to come over. Oh, Jim's here. How you healing up for moving those tanks, brother? Him and Josh moved the big tanks because me and Reaper couldn't do it. We both got broken ribs. Thomas says, "Oh no, if they clean the inside of the boat for you, they could also sleep in the boat. We already cleaned it. It's all clean, ready to go." Harley Jim says, "I'm training my dog to help me get up the stairs and off the floor on bad days." Loren says, "Walk around as Bigfoot at night." I did that before, and then that's what started the Will Star channel because he thought he saw Bigfoot. To this day, he believes he saw Bigfoot. Oh yeah, Summer Lee comes up. Under the gazebo is a good place to sleep too. There's a love seat and a couch under there for sure. Everybody wants you to post the video, Maritza. Post it on your channel. You'll get hundreds and thousands of views. You know how to get to your channel, Maritza. Just go to your channel, and then there's a plus sign at the very bottom of the page. Hit plus, and that's the upload. Oh, look. Summer Lee, been a member for 30 months. Awesome. Thomas Birch says, if you're still playing the drinking game every time, Big Rich says, ow, in any video, live stream, or anything, should take a drink. You know what? That's tonight's drinking word is ow, because I'm sore. Or yeah, Sue-Ann. Sue-Ann says you can send it to Big Rich. He'll post it for you. I'll put it up in our members, thing. Let them all see that shit. That was so, to this day, I haven't had a funnier night since. That night was funny as shit. Drink up, everybody. Raheem says, ouch. Joanna Nellis, been a member for 31 months. Thank you so much. Okay, this don't make sense to me. Jonathan Middleton says, I would get a Lilo and sleep in the monster pond. I don't know what a Lilo is or what that was supposed to say. But okay. Thomas Birch says, oh shit, it jumped past me. Ow, ow, ow. Oh yeah, drink up. You could have really messed with them and told him you were an angel, and I could have. And anything the sky's the limit with that one. Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, that was the night I fell on their son. And I, we were playing and I thought I was tickling him. And he fell down and I jumped on top of him, this and that, fell on top of him. And in the whole thing. So all of a sudden now I'm like, oh my God, I can't get up. And I'm trying to get up and he's yelling. And I had Marissa and Ricky try and get me up. And I'm like, listen, I'm gonna push up. When I get up this far, pull the kid out from under me. I was still hurt. I needed to lay there for a minute. Yes. So that's what we did. We got me up and they pulled the kid out from under me and he's still alive to this day. But he's got a story no one else knows. Big Rich fell on me. I almost died. Oh, Jonathan said it's an inflatable thing that you use in the swimming pool. That would be a great thing to sleep in. It's anything inflatable you can sleep on, as long as you don't roll over and go swimming, unexpectedly in the middle of the night. For the last 2 weeks, I moved in my sleep and woke up yelping, bitch, what, whatever. And, it was my ribs. And I can't imagine waking up to, I'm in cold water. Holy shit. What the hell happened? Because I was sleeping on a raft. Oh, yeah. Sue-Ann was not approachable that night. And then Maritza late 90 said, I love you. And she said, when you're done loving me, turn off the lights. It was funny. She goes, I'm not approachable right now. Tyler says, almost died. You're not that big. Well, I was, 334 pounds at the time. And he's what, 8 years old? Come on now. Oh yeah, a blow up dinghy would be good because it's got the sides. Good job. Good thing, Harley. Good suggestion. Phil Lynch says, got to stop doing stupid things, big guy. Tracy's counting on you. I'm still here for Tracy, whether I'm sick, sore, broke, just went on a 92-hour non-sleep, thing to California and back. I'm still here watching Tracy. You got to worry about Tracy. I do not falter there. I will take care of Tracy. Marissa says, we were dying laughing. And Loren says the kid was flat as a pancake. Oh, Jonathan says, as long as it has a cup holder, put your drink in. Oh. I'll drink up, guys. Ah. Raheem says, wish there was video of Reaper swimming with the fishes falling in the front pond. Yeah, I've got video, but it doesn't really show it. Ow, 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 ow. There's a super chat. Oh, there is. Awesome, Jim Sheasley. What's up, Jim? $3 says Shiloh and I had a blast helping out. Thank you. I still haven't found your bracelet. I went out and looked where we moved the tanks. I did not look through the grass yet, but I will. I'll do that first thing tomorrow. Nobody's been here, so. Well, people have been here, but they walked from the driveway straight to the fish room, and it's after I already looked on the cement where we moved the tanks, so I haven't found it yet. Let me go all the way to the bottom. All right, here we are. Marissa says, that charge is right. Gunner's hair is almost longer than yours, Rich. Almost don't win. The point is, I went through a fire and lost about a foot of my hair. So mine's growing back. keep growing his, and maybe someday you'll win. But oh, Lauren says, did Reaper take a dive in the front pond? Yes, he did. Thomas Bird says there's going to be a lot of heavily drunk people tonight with the drinking word being owl. Bob Taylor says paging Dr. Josh. He's not here. He went home. He's not coming. He's not coming. I don't know what to tell you guys. He told me if I do it at 5 o'clock, he'd show up. And out of the last 12 times, he's been here 3. So, I mean, I can't. I have nothing to say. I don't know what to say. You know, he's a busy man, and he needs better time management. He needs more hours in a day. That's what he needs for sure. Oh, oh my God. I am so damn sore. Jonathan Middleton says, can you give my cuz Ellis a shout out? He lives in Australia and only started watching the videos. Ellis, here's to you, brother. All the way from America. Here's your shout out, brother. Keep watching. It only gets better. See, this is why I just love my fishy family. Listen to this. This is from Thomas Birch. Says, Rich, I hope you feel better, which is great in itself, and have a beautiful weekend. That's awesome. Everybody in the chat and on the channel, stay fishy, my friends. God bless each and every one of you. That's just amazing. That's the kind of people I want to surround myself with all the time, you know. That's great. Bill Lynch says, my buddy George is getting ready to eat a bunch of hot dogs at Nathan's tomorrow. Please cheer him on. He's the red horse of death. Okay. Well, sounds like he's doing a hot dog eating challenge. So, you know, go George. But Nathan's are really good hot dogs. They got the snap on the outside. They taste so good. They're 100% beef. They're great. I love Nathan's hot dogs. So good luck to you, George. Jesus Lizard says, I'm having a baby boy on Sunday. Wait, I thought you were a dude. Jesus Lizard. That pretty much sounds up a guy. But if you're having a baby on Sunday, congratulations. That's awesome. Everybody's saying congrats. There he goes. Okay, Jesus Lizard said, well, my girlfriend is. So you're having a baby. Cool. That's amazing. Ouch. I tell you what, my 3 boys were my godsend, you know. First one changed my life. Second one changed my life again. The third one changed my life forever. I mean, it's just been amazing. You become a better person to raise these little people the best that you can. So you become a better person to do better by them. You know, it's just everybody should have kids. Holly Jeff, take your shit. Stop that. Seahorses are male can have babies. Ah, All right, and the next thing is I didn't get the video out today, and I took full responsibility for that. That's completely my fault. Then I go to do the live stream, and I only got, 3/4 of a drink. I ran out of alcohol. So instead of making the live stream late and running up to the store, I door dashed it and paid somebody a tip to get me alcohol and bring it here. So I'm going to have to leave you guys in a couple minutes of silence when they get to the door. Let me see when it's going to be. Back here. Oh, delivery is in progress. 5:50 to 5:52, and it's now 5:48. So in another 4 minutes, I'll have to leave you guys for a couple minutes. I'm sure you can talk amongst yourselves. Or Jerry, come on in. Harley Jem says she disagrees. Some people shouldn't have kids. I mean, I guess that's true, but I think having kids will change everybody to the better. And if they don't, they're just screwed up from the get-go. You shouldn't breed that, Whatever. Oh, look who it is. Jerry's here.
Somebody's got to keep you honest.
I'm always honest. I'm the one telling everybody else to be honest. I'm the one preaching to be a better human being, to be, better to your friends, to treat each other good, to be good to each other. That's me.
Hey, everybody.
Even just today, you and John were going at it. I'm telling you both to calm down.
I had about enough of you and John this morning.
I was the one telling both of you to calm down, be good to each other, be nice, and calm down. Nothing is that serious. But I will say this. As far as running out of gas, you were at the gas station behind the driver's wheel. John was at the gas station behind the driver's wheel. I was not. I was oblivious to there was no fuel. So you both, laughed today.
Everybody did.
Not me. I had no clue. Bob Taylor, you're a hell of a guy, and if you had kids, you'd be even better. Oh, Jim Sheasley just said, "Where's Jerry?" Jerry usually don't come on until 6 because that's when the live stream is supposed to start. I started early at 5 for Josh to come, but I'm going by his words, and every time, he's not always here. So I'm doing the show alone as a pre-game show before the show at 6.
Well, tonight I'm a preview of Josh when he's 75.
Drink up, guys. Drink up.
That was a few ouches.
I hope I'm gone if Josh looks like you, 75. I don't want to see that. All that hair on his face.
He's going to be all skinny and wasted away.
I will say, Jerry, you look damn good for a man of your 8 years.
I can't imagine myself being this skinny.
Or that old. You never thought you'd make it to that old? Tell me the truth.
Hell no.
Hell no. I didn't think I'd make it this old.
I had professional gamblers, bookies, making book on whether I'd make it to 35 and that was when I was 22.
Oh, they're here. Yep.
All right, looks like I showed up just in time.
Just in time. I'm on my way.
Depth charge says he's 47 and has 5 granddaughters. Depth charge knows me well enough to know that I already quit counting. I got great grandkids. No, he says old is just a number. You're true. It's the mileage that gets you. And I'm extremely high mileage. Yeah, I am feeling a little better. Thanks, Tyler Care. Asked if I'm feeling better. I have a bad habit of responding to your comments without reading them. Leaves it kind of one-sided unless you're reading them too. It's good to still be around. Lots of insanity this morning. Yeah, a lot of people have. You know, I don't know, man. I've been around enough pregnant. I've actually, with my wife, my oldest son and my daughter, I was right there in the delivery room, and my daughter actually, the doctor stepped aside, and I took my daughter out of my wife and cut the umbilical cord and everything.
Oh, I did that with.
I know what there is, but I can't imagine. I know women running around with 12 to 18 babies, having that many children in their life.
My grandmother had 19 kids.
My goodness, man. God. I mean, I know what it is for a woman to be pregnant and have the babies. I mean, my wife like to tore my head off on my son when he was the first one. And then the second one, she was giggling and laughing the whole time.
I'll tell you what, my first kid, it was with the hottest woman I've ever been with. She was amazing, you know, blah, blah, blah. She was worthless as a person, but hottest woman I'd ever been with. And I was in love. And we went to the hospital. She's in there in the stirrups, and there's a male doctor there, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then in comes another man doctor with like, I don't know, 8 interns behind them, all young kids that are just learning to become, you know, doctors.
Hey, you almost a doctor.
And she's sitting there, spread eagle, you know, coochie to the world, and they bring all these people in. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it was the worst experience ever. I never want to experience that. This is not good. On our third kid, because, you know, our second kid, Richie, the bodybuilder, he came out 10 pounds, 8 ounces, and he was like a month late. And we had a normal, you know, it was enjoyable. It was good. But then the third kid, I took Tracy in there, and they were like, because Richie was 5 years old, you know, so I got Richie in one hand, Tracy in the other hand, and we walk in the hospital. And they try and take Tracy away and tell me that I have to wait out here with my son. I'm like, you're out your fucking mind. And they're like, excuse me? I'm like, no. I grabbed her hand back from that nurse. I'm like, you are not taking her in there to deliver this baby without me, period. And she says, well, sir, your young child cannot be in the room, and we cannot take you in there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, then we're going home. We're having this baby at home. And I'm like, come on, Tracy. And we turned and walked away, and they're like, sir, you can't do that. And they come running up to us. They gave me a private room. And because she did not want a male doctor in there, there was no female doctors on. They let the room, me be in the room with her and my son, delivering the kid together. But they had a nurse sit in and just watched us. And, you know, we're sitting there and just going through all this labor, you know, this and that. Tracy's screaming. And Richie's like, Mom, be quiet. I'm like, Richie, she can't control that. It's okay, baby. Yeah. And then, you know, the baby came out, you know, I'm like, oh, I see his head. And the nurse is like, oh, he's crowning this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I brought him out just like that. And she reached over and got some clamps. And then she let Richie cut his umbilical cord. So me and Richie delivered Joshy together. It was the most wholesome family moment of my life. I absolutely loved it. That was amazing. I would suggest it to anybody. Don't let them people walk over you. Tell them what you want and you'll get it.
Carla worked at the hospital and she was emergency admitting on nights. So she knew all these nurses. And the nurses and doctors all knew me and knew. So, you know, I was right there and help with the delivery. Actually, when my son was born, Carla was taking forever to have the baby. And I went out to the parking lot to have a cigar. And this guy tried to roll me. That lasted about 2 seconds. I did a simple backhand forearm to the side of the neck. He's down. I just walked back into the hospital. Well, it's downtown Phoenix, Arizona, man. I mean, the barrio's right 3 blocks away.
Why does the barrio in any town seem to be the worst place in town?
It wasn't called barrio because it was Hispanic. It was called barrio because there's just a lot of Hispanic. It's the poor neighborhood.
See, barrio in my terms was like a biker area.
And it just refers.
Have you ever seen Streets of Fire?
It just refers to the red light district, basically.
Okay, I get that.
Where all the junk
Prostitutes.
You know, if you drive a nice car down there, you're liable to have a couple of beer bottles bounce off of it. But
if you never saw Streets of Fire, you got to watch it.
never watched
Okay, do you guys remember the movie Eddie and the Cruisers? Who was the John? It wasn't John Cena. It was John Cerner or something like that. Was the main character from Eddie and the Cruisers?
I don't have any idea.
Okay.
I don't watch those kind of
Okay,
movies.
let me talk. It was him in his younger days against the guy that played in Spider-Man. He had that guy that was on the riding surf thing. The not the Joker, but
I know the actor you're talking about.
the green guy. Yeah,
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. Thank you.
Yeah.
The actor that played the Green Goblin was the guy that he had to fight, the leader of the barrio.
Oh, you know. Okay. I think I've seen some clips from it.
Oh my God, it was such a badass. I love that movie.
Battle with that fucking pickaxe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it was so badass.
That was beautiful.
I love that movie.
But then again, that's why I don't watch those kind of movies. I lived it. Yeah. So watching choreography is kind of like, you know,
Streets of Fire.
When you're actually in a street fight and get hit upside the head.
That dude, William Dafoe, that was his name.
When you actually get hit upside the head with a timing chain in a street fight, it's completely different from watching that.
Michael Pera, P-E-R-E, was a badass. He played in Streets of Fire, which you guys got to go watch. And then he played in Eddie and the Cruisers 1 and then Eddie and the Cruisers 2. And if you haven't seen him, you got to see him. He is amazing. All right, it's 5:59, or you say it's 6. I'm going to go ahead and start the main show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stay Fishy Friday live stream. We're here. You got your favorite hosts, Jerry and Big Rich. I'm part of a package deal, bro.
Is it time for my line yet? Mm-hmm. Stay fishy, my friends.
It's your only line. You finally got it, though.
He keeps hitting me with it out there. All of a sudden, he'll turn the camera.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, next time I'm going to say, stay deeper with the Reaper.
How old is Jerry? 121.
I'm 75.
75?
Yeah, for the second year.
Damn it, Jerry. What the fuck? You know I can't be laughing like that. Stop it.
Well, that's another swag on it. Time to smoke. Yeah. We did an ouch.
Jonathan Middleton said, I was going to say about 99.
No, the mileage is what gets you, man.
Depth chart says old enough, no better, still too young to care.
You know, somebody called me a dirty old man the other day, and I had to explain to them that I wasn't a dirty old man. I'm still a lecherous young man studying for my degree.
Okay. Raheem says Streets of Fire, 1984. What a great movie. You guys got to go watch it. John Man says, where's that cranky bastard Jerry? He's right here.
Maybe
Reaper says, I want to hear about your road trip today. Okay. I'm in there.
he just wants us to admit that we ran out of gas.
I went in there and I didn't have a nurse last night, so it was up extended, hours. And then Jonathan comes to my door, and he's living with us now. He just had open heart surgery. He lived with us for like 3 weeks before. Then he had his surgery. He's been in the hospital for a week. Now he's back home.
Should have never came home from the hospital.
And then, Reaper's the last one that drove the van, I just want to say, starting this story. So.
Blame's going to get passed around.
It's going to get passed around. Because who's not to blame?
You're going to pick
me.
No,
I am not to blame.
Yes,
How the fuck am I to blame when you were driving?
Van. I'll hook you to it somehow, goddammit.
It's my bad. Okay. So, anyways, John comes to my door this morning and he goes, brother, I'm sorry to wake you. We have to go to the hospital. Can you give me a ride? And I'm like, can't you call, 911? He goes, yeah, I can, but they'll just give me a ride to the nearest hospital. I got to go back to the hospital where they did the surgery to me. And I'm like, okay, I get that. So I get up and, I'm doing all this and, blah, 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 and we're going. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I'm going to go rinse off. I'll be ready to go in a minute. I'm like, okay. Half hour later, I'm like, where the fuck is John? He got me up early, let's go. Where's he at? I go walk in his room, or I knock on his door and he don't answer. I'm like, John, I'm yelling. He don't answer. So I open the door and I don't see him. He's not on his bed. I'm like, oh my God, did he pass out? He's on the other side of so I walked in his room and looked at the other side of the bed. He's not on the floor on the other side of the bed. So now I'm looking around and I go past the bathroom and I hear the shower on. Okay, he's taking a shower. He gets out of the shower. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You wake me up and then you make me wait 2 hours to take you to the thing. He's like, bro, I told you I was going to rinse off. I'm like, yeah, that don't mean going taking a shower. You're going to take a whole shower. That's going to be a half hour, 45 minutes. What the fuck, And anyways, we get past all that and we go out to the car. And mind you, I took a drink this morning. Wake up, get going. I was in so much pain. I was like, screw it. So I had a drink. And then I'm like, oh, shit, fuck, I didn't even think. I got to drive. I can't drive. Hey, Jerry.
Yeah, right. I come in from my chores. Hey, Jerry.
Can you drive us to the hospital? I'll navigate and tell you where to go. Just all you got to do is drive. He's like, yeah, no problem. So now we got me and Jerry going. Jonathan gets done, and he comes out, and we go out there, and we get in the van. Now,
it wasn't that simple, man. It was still running around.
Jerry gets in the driver's seat. I get in the passenger seat. John gets in the back seat. We go up and, we pass a gas station. We get on the highway. And, no, we don't get on the highway. We go over to the other side of the highway. Jerry missed the turn to get north. So I tell him, pull in this gas station. We're going to turn around. And him and John are going at it. John's like, let me drive, Jerry. I'm like, Jonathan, stop. Jerry, you're good. Just drive forward. And Jerry got an attitude. At the same time, John was, giving him shit. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, So Jerry goes in the back seat. Jonathan drives. Now he gets in at the gas station in the driver's seat. So we get on the highway. Within a half a mile, we're out of gas. And Jonathan's like, what do you, he's like doing this. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Just give it gas. And he's like, I'm trying. I'm like, what are you telling me? He goes, dude, we're out of gas. I'm like, we're not fucking out of gas. He goes, dude, we're out of gas. I'm like, we just left the gas station. What the fuck? And, we were sitting on the side of the road. And I thought my son was at work. So I just put a post out to Facebook. If anybody's near, Strongsville, I need a gallon of gas about a mile north, half-mile north of the 82 exit. And my son fucking, replies, says he's on his way. I'm like, yes, my son's coming. And he gets here. Now, mind you, a cop done pulled over. And they're like, this and that. John's driving. And John's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to the hospital. I just had open heart surgery. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't drive because I drank last night. And you know how the drinking thing works. If I blow a test today, I'll still show positive for last night's drinking. So I'm not driving. And we told him Jerry can drive in the back. Everything's fine. So he puts out some flares for us and leaves and goes. And within 20 seconds, a second cop pulls up. And he wanted to ask us questions, this and that. And at that time, Josh pulls up. And he pulls around in front of us. And he gets out of his car with his phone like this. He's like, so what do we have here? Are you guys out of gas? So, yeah, he's going to play it up for sure.
Yeah, ouch, everybody.
The magic drinking word is ouch tonight. The Green Queen says the adventures with Rich. So see, the whole thing is I tell everybody, be good to each other, help each other out. Be worth something in life. Do good, Don't do mean and evil and take, then you're being a taking evil person. Be a giving, a good person. Help people out. Be good to each other. And these two just can't get along. They're just at each other's throats. And I'm like, stop. You don't think? That whole ride, was he not, bitching at you to let him drive? Did you not get an attitude that you're like, fuck it, I ain't driving no more? And you got out and made him drive.
The only way to shut him up was to give him the steering wheel.
My point is, I'm over there in the passenger seat trying to calm both of you down.
Yeah,
Jerry, stop. Just drive. Ignore him, Jerry. John, stop. Stop yelling at Jerry. It was just too much for me. I was like, you both are acting like children. It was crazy.
Now I get into it.
So of the Dawn says, so why was there no gas? Because Reaper left us empty. And Jerry and John did not look at the gas gauge of the car they started driving.
And he went out there to get the key, check the keys and open up the car and check, make sure the car was ready. And he didn't check either.
Why would I check? I'm not driving. I opened the passenger door, saw the keys were in the ignition. And I said, yeah, the keys are out there because I couldn't find the keys. That's all I did. You can blame me all you want. You get in the driver's seat. First thing you do, set your mirrors, check your gas, put your seatbelt on. You did none of the three because going down the road, you were adjusting your mirrors. Then you still had no seatbelt when we ran out of gas. I'm just saying, proof is in the pudding, son. Rick, yeah, you can call after the live stream, no problem. Depth Charge says it's your car. You know what? Fuck off, Depth Charge. I put gas in that car and I don't drive it for 2 weeks at a time. And every time I get in, it's fucking empty because somebody else used it for rescue and leaves it empty. That's all there is to it.
Brambo 14 sends us $5 for gas.
Ah, thank you. We don't need it now, but we'll use it for food for the fish. Okay. Thank you, Brambo. Or Bram Joe. That's it. Leroy Martin says, driver checks for gas, obviously. Yes. Driver's responsibility. Yes. From Jonathan Middleton. Just saying.
You're not distracted by two people barking at you.
All right, Jim, how do you not check before you go home from any trip, drive, errand, or I don't get it. No, that's feasible. When you get in a car and you're going to drive, first thing you do, put on your seatbelt. Second thing, set your mirrors. Third thing, check your gas, and then engage it and drive. I mean, that's just, I thought was normal. Who checks the air in the tires? Absolutely nobody until the air thing comes on in the dash, and then you get somebody to do it. Sue Ann, you want to be a smart ass, but here's the thing. Reaper told me when I was drinking. How the fuck am I supposed to be responsible for that? Lorenz, fuck off, buddy. He says, Big Rich, be the adult. It's you who have to check for gas. If I was driving, absolutely. Period. I would check for gas. If I'm going to drive somebody else's car, I'm going to check theirs for gas. Period. Ross Dingo says, if a Reaper was driving, you can bet it would be empty. He's never going to live this down. He ran out of gas so many times. It hasn't been for like almost a year. Oh, ow, ow.
That was 2 cars for drinking.
Ow. Oh, that hurt.
I bet.
Oh.
Sound like it.
Oh. Ow! Oh, fuck. Ow. Ow. Oh. Oh. Summerly says, shouldn't it be a rule of thumb to check the gas after Reap brings it back? Yes, Summerly, that's a golden rule. But here's the thing. I use it to go to the bank. I stop and put $20 in. I go to the bank a mile away and I come back. Now, gas tank's almost full, blah, blah, blah. I go to get it next time and it's empty. You know, the thing should always be full before it comes back here, period. I give Reaper a gas card. He should fill it up before he comes back from every rescue. Sorry, Reaper, but that's how I feel. Because every time I go to use the damn thing, I have to stop and put gas in it. And a lot of times, you know, I don't have time. I'm running up in between this or that, and I'm trying to get up there before Tracy, you know, the nurse leaves or something. And, you know, I only get 4 hours of sleep a day, so I'm trying to get it done. You know, if you take the car, it has gas in it, you should put gas in it before you come back. You don't have to pay for it. Just put it in. Same Delmac says, why isn't the rule return it full? Okay. It sounds like a lot of people are thinking that it's Reaper's fault. It wasn't Reaper's fault. It was definitely Jerry's fault for not checking. And then it was John's fault for not checking. And then John's like, why did you got no gas in this? And he's yelling at me about running out of gas. I'm like, what the fuck? He goes, dude, I'm on the way to the hospital. Blah, blah, blah. I can't. Dude, you should have checked when you got it. We were just at the gas station when you got in. You could have filled it up, you know? Leroy Martin says, if you feel a sneeze coming on, push on the indent directly under your nose like this. That it says it will make it go away. No way. If I could stop a sneeze, that would be so much better. Harley Gem says, if your gas tank stays above half, you get better mileage. That's not true, but I understand where, you know, the thinking comes from, because gas tanks are normally shaped like, you know, they're flat and then they get bigger as they go up. So it takes forever to go from full to 3/4 than it does to go from half tank to quarter tank. I mean, that's quick. So I understand where the thinking comes from, but it's false. It gets the same mileage no matter what gas you got in the tank. Jonathan Middleton says, how much are arapaima going for? Can't get them in Wales. They're about $200 as babies now. They've gone up a lot. Harley Gem says, Mythbusters proved it. No way. That's a myth. That's a myth completely. You got to figure. You've got on your, let's just go with fuel injection. You've got a fuel pump that pushes 50 pounds per square inch PSI out. Now, does it matter if it's 10 pounds or 10 gallons or 1 gallon. It doesn't matter because it's still pushing 50 psi through that fuel tank. You see it in your mind go faster being lower. Mythbusters is wrong on this one. I'm usually behind them, but they're wrong on this one. There's no difference. Whether you have a quarter tank or a full tank, you are getting the same gas mileage. Reem says buy an electric car, but everyone will forget to charge the damn thing. Bob Taylor says take some X-Lax and be scared to sneeze. I'm already scared to sneeze. That hurts my ribs. Oh. And Jonathan Midland says, I would love monster fish, but haven't got the room, so have to make do with my cichlid tanks and my turtles. Nice. Felix Kabibble says, the more weight you carry, the more gas it takes. That is also true. No. The difference between 20 gallons and 10 gallons is like 80 pounds. So, I mean, okay, it may minusculely make a difference, but you're not going to see it. I mean, come on. The more weight you carry, the more gas it takes. This is true. I mean, this is why race cars are only 2,300 pounds, while street cars are 4,000 pounds. Do you want to make a car faster? You make it lighter, and that makes sense. So it may be there, but it's minuscule. It's so minuscule. The difference between I can see a difference between 2,000 pounds and 4,000 pounds, but there's hardly a difference. I mean, an immeasurable difference between 80 and 200 pounds. That's like another person in the car. Tracy's only 96 pounds. She can get in the car, and I'm spending more gas. It's barely measurable. Reaper said he was coming in for a landing and bad crosswinds. Took 3 times before I got it down, but almost hit a hanger. Didn't fly for 2 months after that. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, Reaper was in the Army. He got his license. He flew. He's flying. He flew planes before. Robert Stacy, what's up, bud? Says holler out to Jerry and Big Rich. How you doing? We're doing good. We need you here. You should come up and hang out and help us get shit done, son. Felix Kabibble says, yes, we are splitting atoms here. Okay, I get that. All right, Jerry, you able to talk to them for a few minutes?
I suppose so.
I gotta go make a drink. Oh, okay, there's another drink up, guys. Oh, I am so sore.
I'm sure you're right.
Oh.
I have no idea what it is. Could be. Not much. Take care of business, taking care of the fish out there. Yeah, Joe Mac, I'm feeling a little better. Yeah, Reaper, sorry. That's my talkative there. Get tired of getting overrun sometimes.
You're tired of what?
Getting overrun.
You mean overrun?
Didn't mean anything. Just to a comment.
How are you overrun? What are you talking
I'm
about?
not overrun.
What are you talking
I
about?
say get to
You said you were getting tired of being
talk
overrun.
with them.
All right, you're gonna make me go back and read this shit. So Jerry, you're feeling better now. Is the last thing. And you said you were tired of being overrun.
Reaper said, well, say something, Jerry. And I said, I lost my talkative because I was kind of overrun there for a minute.
Listen, if you're not willing to say something in front of somebody, don't say it at all.
Well, I didn't know what you were talking about, and I didn't know. I mean, it was just a response.
Right. It's a response that makes everybody think that I mistreat you here, and I don't.
No, that wasn't where it was going.
I go out of my way to treat you nice. Just.
That wasn't.
Jerry, are you looking forward to everyone coming this week? No, he's a cranky old motherfucker. He ain't looking forward to nobody coming. You know what? It changes his routine, and he's a man of his routine. So when other people come in, he gets a little more cranky. You know, a couple people come in, he gets a little more cranky, and it's just I tell everybody you have to deal with it. He's fucking old. He's earned his crankiness. Leave him be. You know, just like John, I told him, just you're not going to change, Jerry. Leave him be. You know, fucking be nice. When I walk in the room and you're sitting there saying, I get tired of being overrun, you know, there's a whole lot of things I can say to that.
Yeah, you just took it all out of context.
Okay. Harley Gem. Now she nailed it. People showing up is change. Change sucks. Especially the old people. I'm old people. You know, Jerry's older than me. Old people do not like change very much. You know. But, you know, it's just, you know, you're used to your routine and that's that, you know. Russ Dingle says, I like routine too. Oh, Summerly says, is Godzilla going to go back into the Pacu tank? Yes, he is.
You never catch him.
Where's he at now?
He's still in the sump.
In the sump? Well, we're going to do the sump next. That's our next big project.
As long as that big bio cube is in there.
That's all right. We're going to take down the sump, so we're obviously going to catch him. He's going to go back into the 4,000, the new tank with the Pacu now, and back to where he belongs.
What we're going to end up doing with Herbie?
Herbie is coming out because he's smaller to the
Herbie's the 60-pounder that's in the touch tank.
Okay, Hubert is coming out of the 2200 and going into the touch tank.
Right.
And then Herbie is going to go into 2000. Josh wanted him in the pond, but I'm like, no. The last turtle we put in there, a red tail came up and bit his whole fin and dragged him down. And you know they have to come up for air.
I thought Josh was going to put the tiger fish in the 2000, in the 2200.
There is one in there now, and he was going to put the rest up in there.
Put the rest of them
Yeah.
with Herbie.
Well, Herbie's in there now. He's a little smaller than
Hubert. I mean, Herbert.
Okay, you're confusing me. Hubert is in the 2200, and he's smaller than Herbie. Herbie's in the 650.
Right. So
we're going to swap those.
Yeah.
And then still put the
tiger fish
in there. Yes.
Interesting.
Well, that's a big tank, and we just got a few, you know.
Well, the stingrays will be out in their breeding tank by then, hopefully.
Well, no, some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
We're trying to separate the stingrays to where, you know, the matoros are mating with matoros, you know, these are mating with these, them are mating with them.
Yeah.
And we're separating them out. So some of them will come out
Yeah.
for sure, but there'll still be a bunch in there.
Yeah.
Depth charge says, Jerry, are you looking? What does that mean?
I don't know. Is there something below that?
Oh, there might be. Are you looking forward to everyone coming this week? I thought I was taking it. You're looking for a woman. You're looking for, what are you looking for, Jerry? Now, don't get me wrong. He don't like change. You know, he's an older guy, but he still enjoys company.
Oh yeah, I enjoy the company here.
So it's just when you do a let's say, hey Jerry, we're gonna have to move you out of your room this weekend. You're gonna have to stay out in the tent. This would piss him off. Make them stay in the tent. I mean, I haven't done that to him, but I could just imagine, you know, something like that would piss him. That's way out of his comfort zone, you know. Oh shit, we got a bunch of them behind.
Yeah.
So that says people always show up at OFR. However, this upcoming week will be different for sure. Absolutely. For one, Jerry's into this, like, I would say, cycle he's happy with. He'll get up and he'll go out there, he'll do his work, and then he'll sit around the back deck, smoke his cigars, whatever, enjoy the morning. Sometimes he pulls a chair over and sits right in the sunlight, you know, enjoys the morning. Then he'll get back up. He'll do a little bit of work around the rescue, you know, get things done, take that. And then he'll go sit on the back deck. When people are around, he can't do that. He's nonstop. Here's a tour. Here's people. Here's people dropping off. Here's people picking up. And it gets to be a bit much for him. And, you know, I'm helping out best I can. And anybody else around is helping out. But on the weekends of the once a year sale, it's nonstop people, nonstop. And he can't take a break. You know, he can work a little, break a little, work a little, break a little. He works at his own pace. He can't do that during the week of the sale. It's just nonstop people. It's crazy. So I get it and I understand it. Depth charge says, did you get that AC in our room? No, but I did something better. I set you up a tent outside. Huge fucking tent. We got 2 of them out there. I got blow up mattresses. It'll be cool as, I mean, cold in the nighttime. You have to cover up with blankets because that week it's supposed to get down into the low 70s, high 60s that at nighttime. So Harley Jem says, yep, my big adventuring is about done. I like my routines in my house. Yep. People get used to their routines, and you know, it's aggravating to get tossed out of your routine. Ross Dingle said, I think Rich was getting too excited about the tent and thought he might have camped out back for a night. I'll tell you what, I might even do that this week. It's so hot. It's so much cooler at night. And them tents are huge out there. I mean, the one's like 15 foot by 20 foot. The other one's like 12 foot by 8 foot. I can stand up in it and not touch the top.
By the time I was through playing with the 750 last night, I was real tempted to just stretch out right there in the chair on the back deck.
Really?
Well, it was 130.
Now, see, if that was a screened-in back deck and there's no raccoons and no bugs,
yeah,
you could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
Especially if I get you like
a airsoft gun in my lap and sit there and wait for the coons.
No, if I had it screened in and I had a like a recliner out there, you'd definitely be sleeping out there.
if there was a refiner out there, I'd already been sleeping out there. The only thing that stopped me is that it gets so damn damp in the morning. You know, without the cover over.
Yeah. Well, in the morning you got that
The dew,
the dew,
yeah,
yeah.
it settles on soaks.
Tyler Kurtz says, Sue Ann, just buy a super comfy air mattress. I already got a super comfy air mattress. I got queen size air mattresses, 4 of them out there in the 2 tents.
Over the batteries around here that we've got, the battery powered fan, shit,
Well,
you could take your big screen TV out there.
Not only that, I have the OPEs. We're going to put one in each tent that is powered, so you can plug in anything you want. You want TV, you want, you know, an air conditioner. I mean, it's all out there. Summer Lee says the tents are big enough to have everyone sleep out there. They are big, and each one will have a powered, you know, unit hooked up to solar that will stay charged. You can run, you know, big, you know, TVs all night long. And it is Tracy update time. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. All right, guys. The show's over. We're going to the Tracy update. 6:32, Summerly. All right. So this week here, Tracy has been just such an amazing little sweetheart. I was talking to her, and she turned her head my way. And the nurse was like, "Oh my God, look at her! She's turning right towards you, Rich." And Tracy turned towards her and was listening to her. And I'm like, "Oh my God!" She turned towards you, and she turned back towards me. I'm like, she is so aware. So I had to reach down. I gave her a kiss on the side of her, you know, head, and told her I loved her. And you know, we're all waiting for her to be able to talk to us and this and that. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. The nurse, it was Marion. She was so amazed that Tracy's that aware. And, you know, she's been here, Marion's been here like over a year and sees improvement in Tracy. You know what I'm saying? So she was blown away that day. That was, I don't know, 3-4 days ago. So she was just so intently listening and watching each of us, you know. So, anyways, let's move on with that. She's been very good, not sick at all. You know, life with a catheter is so much better than changing diapers all day. It's so much easier to watch her and so much just better on mental wise. You know, we don't have to, you know, change her. You know, once a week we change catheter bags. I think it's once a month we change the catheter. And you know, it's awesome. She's more here now than she's ever been before, period. And you know, I try every single day. I want you guys to know I try and talk to her, squeeze my hand, look up and down, look left and right, blink your eyes, close your eyes, you know. And she's got me a couple of times where things have actually happened where I said they should, and it wasn't actually happening. But you know, the day that I will never forget was the day I told her she has a granddaughter, and tears came out her eyes. So I know for a fact she's there, you know. So the point is, she's fighting this fight, and she has no way of talking to us. But the moment she can make that breakthrough, squeeze my hand, blink your eyes, look left or right, look up or down, blink your eyes, something. She will have such a much better life than she has now. Her quality of living is going to go up so much because we'll be able to communicate, you know. And that's all we're waiting for. It's all, you know, I was raised Baptist, Catholic. My mom's Catholic, dad's Baptist, and I had to go, all this stuff on Wednesdays and then all this stuff on Saturdays and then Sundays. That was my young life. I later on made my own decision that I do believe there's a greater power out there somewhere. But I don't believe that they watch us, they everything, and they hear us, But when I do pray, the only thing I pray for is for Tracy to be able to communicate. I don't ask her to be cured completely. None of that. I just please let her come back to the point of communicating, because I can make her life so much better. So much better if she can just communicate her needs. You know what I'm saying? Tell me, because actually, if you think about this, she hasn't ate nothing in 6 years in her mouth. She's getting fed through a peg tube of soybean meal or whatever this stuff is, and nutrition. But she don't get to taste nothing. On her birthdays, on Christmas, on stuff like that, I'll give her a fingerful of cherry syrup or peanut butter, and this and that, and give her a taste, a little treat, like cheesecake, something like that. But I'm waiting, because she's worked herself up from being in a coma to the next stage on the Glasgow coma scale. There's 5 stages. She's worked herself up out of a coma. Now she has a waking, daytime, nighttime, sleepy time. Then there's stages of that. And she's already worked her way to the top of the vegetative state. And as soon as she can say yes or no, or answer a doctor in her words or her way, blinking, looking left or right, squeezing hand, whatever, she will move out of the vegetative state and into the minimally conscious state, where now we're open to new programs, physical therapy programs, that other people will come here and help her advance more. So we have been stuck at this like 7 months now at this level, and I am just waiting. I even made her a yes/no board, to where if you look to the right, that's no. If you look to the left, that's yes. And I made it red and green with black letters, Y on the green, and then N on the red. A new nurse that came here said, make it black and white. She might not be able to see color. Make it black and white. I'm like, okay, I can do that too. The whole point is, I'm trying every avenue I can to make a conversation with her somehow. Like if you can look left and right, look right for yes, look left for no. If you can look up and down, look up for yes, look down for no. If you can blink your eyes, okay, blink your eyes twice for yes, don't blink for no. We can make a conversation. We can do this, and I can communicate with you. I will figure out a way. The whole thing of the board was yes and no is so wide apart that she has to look this way for yes and that way for no. I can tell, right? So I try all the time to get her to adhere to these, or squeeze my hand. She hasn't gotten to the point where she can squeeze my hand yet. Where you going, Jerry?
Go wipe my nose.
Oh, have fun. What's this say? Asaya, Arkansas says some people take 12 years or more to come back. Just keep hope and keep trying. You're doing great. It's been 7 years, and I see all these. The doctor said she'll never come back. Doctor said she'll never come back. Said if I take her off any of these 8 machines, she will die. If I pull the plug on any one of these machines, she will die. And he had me and my 3 boys all blubbering with their girlfriends. We're all crying. We're in the room around her. And, they said she's gone already, So I should pull the plug. Another doctor comes in and he says, listen, it might be lack of oxygen, because we heard she was out for over 8 minutes. it might be a lack of oxygen. Her brain is swole from the lack of oxygen, and the CAT scan will give a false scan. Let's wait till next Friday, right? And we're like, thank you. Yeah, Sue Ann says 7 o'clock nurse is coming. Yeah. So, you know, we're sitting there, and next thing you know, this well, wait. I told you, he said that, you know, let's wait till next Friday. Okay, so by next Friday that came in, she had worked off of 7 of those 8 machines that other doctor said she'll never come off of. She was only on the breathing machine, which because they intubated her, they couldn't take her off of. I don't believe she needed that then. You know, it was months later they took her off of that, you know, to where she ain't on no machines now. And some people say the shit, you know, it's cruel to keep her around, you know, blah, blah, blah. You should let her end. I can't let her end. There's no end to it. What am I going to do? I'm going to unplug her misting machine. Now, see, here's the thing. She's breathing in through her trach, right? Which means it don't go through your I forget what this is all called, your sinuses, and it don't warm up, it don't get moist, and then go into your lungs. So a person on a trach gets things called a mucus plug, which is loogies. Your loogies in your lung that you spit out. She will get them because she gets trach, fresh air in her trach, right? She breathes in through that. She'll get things called a mucus plug because these loogies that you're not coughing out, mucus, will harden up in her lungs and then block her lungs and end up suffocating and dying. So she is on a machine now, which is called a nebulizer. And what it does is it puts air through a thing of sterile water, and then it gets pumped to her neck, and she breathes in this moist air. It keeps the mucus plugs from forming. But other than that, you know, they won't take the trach out, which she hasn't needed. What do you want to call it? A air machine that pumps air in. I forget what it's called. She hasn't needed that for like 5 years. She's breathing on her own. So if we were to remove the trach, she'd breathe through her nose on her own. Then we wouldn't need the nebulizer. Okay. They won't remove the trach until she's coherent. So that's another reason. Once she reaches the mentally conscious state, they will take the trach out of her, and then she won't need no machines at all. So there's no pulling a plug on any machine without it being labeled murder. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I didn't want to take care of her no more, and I didn't give a shit, and I just wanted done with this. The only thing I can do is send her to a nursing home and let her die off there where they don't take care of her good enough. You know what I'm saying? She's been home for almost 6.5 years, and she hasn't had one bed sore. But in the 6 months she was at a nursing home, she had 3 different ones. You know, she got septic and had to go to the hospital. She's not ever turned septic here. So if I was to say, screw it, you know, I want a different woman, I'm tired of doing this, and I send her to the nursing home, she's going to end up dying because they do not take care of you good enough there. So, you know, it's on me, and I will give you this. I will never not take care of that little girl. She is my heart. She's the mother of my children. It's not even a question to not take care of her. I give up my life. I'm here. I'm taking care of my family. That's it. Period. So I don't know. It's just the things people say, you know. It's so cruel sometimes to hear these things. All I know is if you care about somebody, you will take care of them. It's a fact. You care about your kid, you're going to take care of him. You don't stop taking care of him because he got beat up by a girl at school. You know, you say, hey, you're a fucking wuss. You know, you're not my kid, and you don't take care of him. No, you still take care of your kid. You try and teach him better, whatever. But you know, it's if you care, you take care of, and that's it. My kids, I've raised them to the point where they take care of themselves, and I don't have to take care of them. They're both doing well. All three of them are doing great. I don't see the third one very much because he lives down in Cincinnati, but you know, he's got a new wife that runs his life, I guess. So, Jerry, let me know why you stay outside. Even with the air conditioning in the house, isn't it cooler outside than it is inside?
I'm more comfortable outside.
Well, that and you know the tents in the backyard are going to be cooler than actually being in the house because it's fucking hot in here. But anyways, well, I said that because Summerlee says, "Oh, that would be perfect, me, Sue Ann. I get cold super easy." Okay. Jesus said, "You're a good man and role model, Rich. Thank you." Raheem says, "Rich, you're the best caregiver than nurses." Oh, thank you. Sue Ann says, "I am menopausal. I stay 100% hotter than most. That's why she's not approachable."
That's why she's sleeping in the pool. We sleep with a monster fish. There's always arrangements around here. You know that, Sue Ann.
Well, if somebody don't want something, you know, we can rearrange things. I'm just saying I've set up what I can to make things work for everybody, you know. John is now staying in the dragon room because you know he just got home from a open heart surgery, so I let him stay in the room with the nicer bed and the bathroom. So
I didn't know he moved. I thought he was still in the first bed here.
JG Matney says the next fish to go to the monster pond. Love what y'all do. Oops.
I know, that's a good question. What's the next fish you figure will go into a monster pond?
I know what it is.
What, the big gar?
No, the gar going in with the pacu.
I mean, that 4-footer that's already in with the pacu.
No, he's over in the 3,000. Pacu in the 4,000.
Pacu are in the 4,000, so is that 4-foot gar.
No, all the gar are still on the left
No,
side of the
that
3,000.
one big gar is in with the pacu.
Really? Josh moved it?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it. Okay, well, all them gar that were in the 3,000 are going over to the 4,000. So 3,000's empty except for stingrays on the bottom. And then the next fish to go into the monster pond, me and Josh talked about yesterday, were the arapaima in the 4,000.
Okay.
They're over 3 foot.
Yeah, but they're still about bite size for them Peru show.
Well, some releases, I know it's odd, but I'm hoping to hit menopause soon. It hit my mom early. Michelle Pure. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? She's such a sweetheart. She works at a nursing home and she brings us like supplies every once in a while. You know, she's a sweetheart. She goes, "You're the best caregiver, Rich." Aw, thank you.
I think I better. I don't know.
Okay, the one unsilenced voice says, "For a few years, I was my mom's main caregiver and my parents' dog, even if we hired a nurse, I'd have been there and stayed. See,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. We get all these rando nurses on weekends and nights, and I can't just go to sleep. I have to watch them, you know? Hello? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. All right, see ya. Beatrice is going to be late.
Huh?
Beatrice is going to be late.
Okay.
7:30. All right, guys, come on. You guys know this is a live stream with men, right? And they're having a side project. I know, Sue-Ann, but my periods are extremely painful and erratic. 2 in a month, and I can't have kids. And so I welcome. Guys, stop. Stop. We can talk about cars. We can talk about food. We can talk about music. We can talk about fish. We can talk about camping. We can talk about air guns. Let's not talk about menopause. Let's not talk about
Oh God.
periods, okay? You guys, what the hell? You're killing me.
When my daughter was in college, her second year, she was involved with some theatrics, and they put on the play, the Vagina Chronicles.
Oh shit!
And
I don't even want to watch that.
I was local, so I just showed up. You know, she talked me into coming.
You were part of the Vagina Chronicles?
No, I sat there. I had to sit. You know, by God, I think there was only 5 people, 5 men in the whole freaking auditorium.
Oh shit!
I would sit there. I'm about 5 rows back, man. I'm like looking over my shoulder.
Was it part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club? You were like the opposite.
The opposite of him. Yeah, well, yeah, it was interesting.
Peace Daily says menopause. I tell you what, if you keep talking about, you know, menopause, I'm gonna go menopause on your ass. Oh, Felix Camillo comes in and changes the subject. Yes, Yellowstone was awesome show. I can't believe they killed off dude at the end. That show could have kept going if they didn't kill that off, or it was fake. You know?
No idea.
Yeah, Sue-Ann, we've all seen Rich bleed, of course. Not every single month or 7 days, you know. Yeah, that just seems like demonic to me. You bleed every month for 7 days and you don't die. You're a demon. It's and this is all we have to date. I don't want to date a guy. I want to date a woman, but they're demons. See where I'm going with that?
Now with men, it's called musk. Like elephants, they go in the
Like an
musk.
elephant, yeah. Harley Gem says male menopause is real and some nasty for some. You know, you're just living with an asshole at that point because there's no real genetic reason for menopause. Okay, I will give you this. Let's go back up here a little bit. And Tyler Kerr says, it don't bother me when my wife has that time of the month. Because in reality, it didn't bother me either. I had to teach Tracy about what a douche is. Her mother taught her to wear pads, and I thought it was disgusting. Here's something, you know, this and that, and then tampons. She didn't know anything about that. I taught her all that, and then you know, life became better. Tracy wasn't really bad at all, you know. It's just, that's the week she needed tampons. And I called it head week. It was great. But let's move on from that. He goes, but my wife has this time of the month. I get everything before dark chocolate cappuccino, and I got in and get her things no problem. 12 years together. See, that's what it takes to make a marriage is, hey, I'm in need of this, and your mate does that no matter what. So if a guy says, hey, this week of the month, I'm going to need, I don't know, extra sex, some head, and, ice cream. And if a wife is willing to do that, she loves you. So the same thing for a guy. He's willing to go through that and deal with it. He loves you, period. So here's Tyler's relationship. Every time I lean against this table, it kills me. Jonathan Middleton says men are born children and stay children, and trust me, it's true. I am a fine example. I'm 62 and I haven't hit puberty yet. I'm as immature as they come. Give me food, give me nookie, and tell me I'm the greatest, and I love you forever. It's that simple. Russellman1 says, I'm thinking of getting a Buttacoperi cichlid, but I heard horror stories on this fish. Have you ever successfully housed one with other? I have 2 Buttacoperis in my cichlid tank now, but my cichlid tank is 1,800 gallons. They're amazing, but when they get bigger, you have to, get them in a bigger tank. We had a huge Buttacoperi. I'm talking 18 inches in the 4,000 in with a what? A Dovai, yeah. Yes. And they got along great because of the size of the tank. Now, if you put them in 150 gallon, 300 gallon, they would fight to death. Okay.
At that size, yeah.
But
you can't get away from each other.
At the size of the 4,000 gallon tank, the Buttacoperi was over here, the Dovai was over there. They had their own sections, and they got along fine.
It takes quite a while for a Buttacoperi to grow up to get that big.
Oh yeah.
So you can keep a smaller one, maybe, but when they get up to the big black chin stage, man, they're beautiful.
They're great to keep with if you keep them in a huge tank. If they start killing something, put them in a bigger tank. They'll leave fish alone.
They're like a rainbow swimming around when they get in their full color.
Felix Kabibble says, can't wait for the next Landman. Oh my God. Landman was so good. I can't believe they fired him. That was that bitch's biggest mistake she ever made right there. Now, the new Landman season coming out where he's running this whole, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Suan says, Rich, serious question. If I bring back the 2 Vietnamese pond turtles I bought from you back, can they live in the big pond? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Or you can look that up too and see, here's the difference. A turtle in a pond, which people say, oh, they live fine in ponds. This is a liner pond, okay? They cannot dig into the side and make a hole going down a structure, and then they come up above the water level in the land, and that's where they stay all winter. They can't do that in a liner pond.
Besides that, they're not going to stay in there. They're going to end up in a monster pond anyway with overflows.
No, we're talking the outside pond.
Vietnamese pond turtles will handle a cold that much.
They can't handle the cold. Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying there's different reasons you got to look at, but look up if you can put them in your outdoor pond that freezes over and see. Look that up. Jumpman says zebra tilapia is buttercoperi are big assholes. They are because people keep them in small tanks and they defend their territory and kill other fish. But if they're in a huge tank, they defend their area of that huge tank and they don't kill nobody. So it's the way they're kept. I think I can keep an 18-inch buttercoperi in the monster pond with the 4-foot fish because he'll defend his area, and I don't think they can swallow him. So we're all good. Jesus Blizzard says, I want to get another flagtail soon. My full-grown one jumped out of a tiny gap at the back of my tank. Oh, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Summer Lee says, you mean the back pond, the natural one, Sue? No. She's meaning the pond with the koi in it. But it doesn't matter. She wants to give them back to us. So we can take them back, no problem. We'll find them another home.
Be nice if we could keep them here, but they don't have a setup for them.
See, even Sue knows they would do great in the koi pond in the summer, but they'd have to come in for the winter. Which we already have fish in there that have to come in for the winter. We're going to bring in our paddlefish all winter long, and we're going to bring in our sturgeon all winter long because we don't want to chance them sitting out there. You know, in the last 3 years, we lost 2 sturgeon, or I'm sorry, 2 paddlefish.
Yeah.
You know, one ended up in the overflow, and the other one died of some sort of like fungal infection all over them. So we don't want to do that no more. We want them to preserve. So we're going to bring them in, put them in the monster pond for the winter time, and you know, keep going. And we'll feed them all winter. They'll grow faster. So Ann says, I've had them for 2 years. I will keep them rather than rehome them if they can't stay there. I don't know. I'd have to do some, you know, research to see if they can stay in the pond. But the monster pond has red-tailed cats. And now the last time we had Hubert, not Herbie, Hubert in there, a red-tail came up, grabbed Hubert by his front left paw, fin, and dragged him to the bottom. The problem is pig-nosed turtles have to go up to breathe. If that red tail sucks him down like that, you know, he's going to die. So we had to dive in instantly and get the turtle out of the fish's mouth. And we took him out of there. So now we watch when we have Hubert do the videos, we watch the fish the whole time he's in there, 20 minutes or so, to make sure that nobody goes after him. So I don't feel comfortable putting a turtle. Now, Godzilla lived in there for over a year. He's got claws for hands, a lot stronger than fins, but he got behind the background, and we had to push him out of the background and then take him out of the pond. But the other fish didn't bother him. But there's something about the fly river turtle. I think it's their soft fins. That red tail went right after him. So I don't know. I can't tell you because I haven't done this before. This is a new thing. You can bring them and try while you're here and see if they stay in there. I don't know.
Joe, Vietnam goes all the way from glaciers to rainforests, so it depends on where they come from, what their native conditions are. So we had that red tail come in. It was about 28 inches. And the next day, that thing spit up a red-eared spider shell.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting, but Holy shit, that was a big slider too. There's no little turtle.
Well, you could tell by his belly he was a little offset.
Oh yeah, he was definitely fat, but I just figured he's
And
fat.
then he puked up a red-eared slider. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Prince Vino says, I watch for the fish info and I stay for the rib tickling hysterics. Where else do you get that? Nowhere else. That's why I call this the days of our lives at Ohio Fish Rescue. You have to log on to see what happens today. You never know. See, now Josh does informative fish videos. But if that's all we did, it would be so, it's hard to do that every day. So he does that, and I let him do his thing. I do what it takes to run this rescue. So people can see what happens in the driveway, what happens in the garage, what happens today. Oh, there was an accident today. Oh, there was a big fire today. You know, I handle everything else. So you see what goes on at this rescue, and then you know behind the scenes we're just working our ass off to keep it up to par, you know. So every day you have to log on to see what the hell happened today. You know. Michaela B40, I don't know what this is. Says, glad to see you looking well, Jerry and Rich. Your weight loss has you looking fit. Oh, thank you. I'm trying. I'm getting better. But these ribs, this took a part out of me, breaking my ribs. It took some of my weight loss out of me. But, you know, I am getting to the point to where I am getting, you know, more fit. I can see down here, I can't do that. You know, up here, I'm getting more solid. I feel more solid. But Summer Lee says, I've been reading, and I don't think they can go outside unless they are in a secure area and can't get out. Okay. Ross Dingle says, I know what happened today. Jerry put water on the floor. You're not even acknowledging that.
I think Jerry put a lot of water on it.
The 750 overflowed today. All right, so I got a third tent here. I'm getting ready to set up tomorrow. So whoever shows up, we have room for you. I took out I've got two of the, I know you didn't say, Jerry, I embellished. Okay, stop it. I took out two of the Opez. That's the name brand of solar powered things. One's in the big tent and one's in the bigger tent. Now, the third tent, I don't think we'll have one, but we can run an extension cord over. So anybody, you know, I mean, last time Reaper stayed here, he used the one Opez, the smallest one, and he had his phone on charge all night. He stayed up and watched, you know, movies all night on his 27-inch screen. And then in the morning, he cooked breakfast on his little hot plate that plugged into USB-C. Or I'm sorry, it plugged into the you know, American plug. And then, you know, he still had like 60% left of this solar power thing, and he didn't have the solar power on it. So you're going to have tents with air mattresses and full electric, and every day it'll charge itself back up, no problem. So it's going to be, you know, very nice. Raheem says, do you have any female fly river turtles so you can breed with Hubert? We do, but the breeding process is very harsh and fucked up. Look up the breeding process of a fly river turtle and you'll see why we haven't bred them. People here in America now do breed them, and we can buy them like $1,600 a baby, because they're on the CITES 1 list. They cannot be imported, they cannot be shipped, they cannot be sold, blah blah blah. But now that we're doing it here in America, you can buy them. That's the loophole, you know. If they're bred in store, you can sell them. Hey, Sue Ann. Wait. Sue Ann says, you know, what she's been doing is working. They more than doubled in size. Summer Lee says, I got 175 gallon. Sue Ann says, I have them in a 265 gallon with a flue valve. Okay, that's a fish tank, a 265 gallon. Sue Ann, do you have room for a 300 gallon tub? A round tub. It's about 6 foot round, about 3 foot tall. If you have room for that, you and Steve will come here and spend a week. I'll give you the tub free to take home with your, to put your turtles in, if you want. I mean, that's up to you.
Well, if you don't farm tools, don't get that big.
Well, she says they doubled in size since she took them from here.
Yeah. That's about full grown. But they have to be 78 to 80 degrees.
So they are a warm turtle.
Yeah, they're not a cold water turtle.
Sven says that that's not enough to keep up with them. That's why they're in my bathtub. You have turtles in your bathtub, Sue Ann? Sue Ann says she keeps them at 82. Somebody says, oh, we built a trickle filter for mine out of a Rubbermaid tub. That's the best way to go. I've taught this. Yeah. I've preached this. I've taught this to so many people. Use a garbage can, make a big, huge filter. It's better. All you need is a pump. You got one pump, it pumps up, and it trickles through all this filtration and goes back into the pond. Raheem says, I saw an albino fly river turtle on Rod's video they have. Yeah, if you want one, they're only $50,000. That's why I don't have one. Robert Stacy says, I've had turtles and fish in my bathtub, bass, largemouth, smallmouth, eastern, painter, baby snapping turtles, and forgot not only from Boston, but Florida. Okay. Summer Lee says the pump for the pond has to sit in the net box to keep it from getting plugged. You know what I used to do? Let me educate you guys a little bit. You can make a filter out of a power head. Take a big power head, okay? And you put the nozzle into a Pepsi bottle. And you fill the whole Pepsi bottle with fiber floss. And you set that down. Now, the return for the power head, you put a hose on it. And you bring it over to here. Now, you cover the whole Pepsi bottle with rocks. And you put a big rock over it. Now the turtles can come up out of the water onto their basking area. The filtration is underwater. And it's pumping water out over here, which pushes the water across your tank, and then it comes back over here where it sucks it in through the fiber floss. Once a month, you take the cover off of your thing, and you see the power head with the pet. You take off the power head out of the intake, and you grab the whole Pepsi thing, and you take it out, and you take out all the fiber floss, put brand new in there, and put back in there. My turtle enclosures were always sparkling clean. Sparkling clean. They don't need bacterial like fish. They just need clean water. Well, you need it because you're a viewer of your animal, and it doesn't matter if that water is nitrates, ammonia. Turtles don't give a shit. They come out of the water. So, I mean, of course, there's going to be bacteria in there, going to end up taking care of it anyway. But you're using a mechanical filter with an FX5 to try and clean the thing. And the mechanical filter, if you don't clean it enough, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. On a 300-gallon, like, Rubbermaid tub, you can take off the one rock and put it aside, and you can see that your shit is black all the way through. You take the Pepsi container off, you throw that shit away, you put new pillow stuffing in, which costs like $20 for, I'm sorry, it's $16 for a huge bag of this stuff. It's called fiber floss pillow stuffing, and it's the best. It's mechanically secure. You're good to go. So I found that's the cheapest way to clean any turtle tank or alligator tank. And you can get it at Walmart. Thank you, Sue Ann. Yes, this is true. You can buy it at Walmart. Yeah, fiber floss, pillow stuffing. It's cheap. You buy it in bulk. Okay, that's the best mechanical filtration you can get. So when people say, "Oh, I build
as tight as you want,"
I build a homemade filter," and then you see them use it. No, I use scrubbies. That's just biological filtration. You can use anything for biological. Bioballs, scrubbies, I don't give a shit. It's what's above that, your mechanical filtration. And a lot of people use these sheets, 1-inch thick of like fiber floss, and then they change that, once every 5 days. I got tired of that. I use that pillow stuffing and I put it like a foot thick, and I change it once every couple months. It works. Okay, Mississippi Hippie Sherry says, I just built a filter box for my goldfish pond, bog-like with lava rock. The flow through where water comes to the top flows down through the quilt batting sheet. I'm thinking that is fiberglass through lava rock, and then out the void at the bottom. Well, let me tell you, if you take that lava rock out of there and replace it with bio balls, you're going to up your biological filtration by tenfold.
At least, no.
At least 5 times. Lava rock is good, and it was the thing back in the day. But here's the thing: lava rock works like this. Every hole you see on a lava rock, every little hole, biological filtration can fill up around that hole, because they need air, oxygen, and water to live, right? So they live around every hole. And lava rock has a bunch of holes. But bio balls have, like, each ball has over a mile of length of area where biological material can stay on. And if you're putting this in through this, and then it's oxygenating and it's going good, you can use bio balls instead of lava rock. Lava rock was the mainstay 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
You just got a lot more area.
You can do the same amount of filtration, biological filtration, and then eliminate 2/3 of that bio balls just by having, just by eliminating the bio ball, just by eliminating the lava rock and replace it with bio balls. You can make it a lot smaller. Harley Jam says, noticing a few countries changing the rules for pets lately. What does that mean?
Uh,
I know laws always
John
change.
mentioned that they don't allow regular sliders in India.
Well, you know,
So there's a lot of
I don't know if you remember, but I grew up here, and I always had, baby skunks, baby groundhogs, baby deer, black bears, black panthers, cougars. I had all these crazy animals. And every year I would go to Mount Hope Exotic Animal Auction and buy them.
Yeah.
I'd spend about 10 grand.
Yeah.
And then my children grew up hand feeding all these baby, animals, which was great. So that was a plus. Then I sold them. So I made money. That was a plus. And, then all of a sudden they changed the laws on us because that guy down in Columbus let out 50 animals, lions, tigers, bears, and it was dangerous for the community. And they had to go in and euthanize all these animals. They went hunting for them.
had to find them. Yeah.
Right. So they euthanized them all. They killed them all. And he killed himself.
Yeah.
But now we're not allowed to buy any of them.
Yeah.
We can't have, I had monkeys, I had Java macaques, I had all kinds of different stuff. But now the only thing we're allowed to have is spider monkeys and marmosets.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind having another marmoset. Tracy loved her last one, and his name was Chewy. She loved him. I mean, that was her buddy. She'd walk around with that marmoset all day long. She was just, I miss Tracy. She's such a sweetheart. I miss her. And see, people say you'll never get over somebody cheating on you. I married Tracy in 95 and I divorced her in 97 because I found out she cheated on me. But for years, she put up with my anger. She put up with my resentment, my hatred. And I told her, you're a horrible mother. You can walk away from this family and go out for your own pleasure. Fuck you. You're useless to me. I don't want nothing to do with you. She wanted to be a good mother. So you know what she did? She came to me. She asked me how to be a good mother. She don't understand how, blah, 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 this and that. And I told her, watch, Little House on the Prairie. Watch Laura Ingalls. Become a good mother to my kids. You'll never have me again. But I will, make the children, respect you and you'll have your family. And she became the best mother to my children. Just by, I guess you want to say, fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? She took on the actions of all these other people she saw on TV as good mothers. She wanted to be a good mother, so she pretended to be that. And then, for the last 10 years, all she wanted was to be remarried to me. She's like, I've never had somebody that loved me for me. I've never had somebody that cared about me as much as you have. And I am so sorry for there was a guy at work that, told her, oh, if you were my girl, I'd treat you better. And she's like, really? She just fell for it. She was young and stupid. But you can get over it if somebody shows enough effort. You know what I'm saying? If they prove to you that you're what they want, you can get past this. Because the biggest thing about cheating is, I'm not your world. You don't love me. You'd rather have him, Shit, there's somebody at the door.
Probably the nurse.
Yep, there's the nurse.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing. And then the betrayal of it. And then you're so upset and pissed off, you know what I'm saying? But if somebody cares and they actually made a mistake, I mean, how do you make a mistake? I fell down and his dick entered me. No. No, that's not a mistake. You chose to be there. You were turned on by, this and that, and you wanted to be around him. And then when shit happened, it happened. That's not a mistake. But it was the one person has to understand that the mistake was you felt this person was better for you. You felt that person was going to, do more for you, or whatever the fucking reason is. The point is, if you love somebody, you don't care about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what hurt the most, is that she didn't love me enough to stay with me. She didn't love me enough to stay loyal. You know what I'm saying? But going through that with her, she found out what, because obviously a couple months later she was, homeless, and she called me and wanted a place to stay. And I made her the deal, I will let you live here. I will never forgive you. I fucking hate you. But my children deserve a mother and a father, not a bunch of stepdaddies and a bunch of stepmommies, because I grew up with that shit and I don't want that for my kids. So I was like, if you're going to be here, you're going to be a good mother to my children. That's the only thing I care about. And I made her, watch these shows and become like these girls. And then she started living the life, and she became, this is what I want, in her mind, this is what she wants. And all she wanted for the last 10 years, which I still didn't give her the chance, the last 10 years, all she wanted was to have me, remarry her. And I didn't do that. I would never, fuck you, I would never do that. And, she was so good to me. And then when she died, I'm reading her messages, her notebooks. She wrote notebooks. There's like 9 of them, full of these letters. I guess she wrote to me, but didn't show me because her therapist told her to write out your feelings, but don't, it's for you, not him. I'm telling you, she died and she's in the hospital. We got her back. And I'm reading these fucking notebooks and I'm just blubbering. I'm fucking dying. This is everything I wanted, All I know is all she wanted to be remarried to me, and I believe she deserves that now. And I know for a fact all she ever wanted was a baby girl. And now she has a granddaughter. And my heart to you, that girl deserves, to be there for her granddaughter and raise her granddaughter and help her out, everything else. I feel that in my heart 100%. She is just a beautiful person now that I wouldn't give a chance to. And now, as soon as she wakes up, I will remarry her. Oh, shit. I don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, as you can see, I can touch my face now. It's not so sore. I can actually slap my mouth. But my cheek is still a little sore where the cut is. But there's still a little lump there. But it's way better. What if she said no? Cody says. Then I'd have told her, fucking go pound rocks, bitch. Fuck off. I don't want nothing to do with you. My children deserve better, Yeah, lava rock clogs up and all this and that. But, there's people out there like Steve Bashy that completely 100% believes in the oxygenating K1 media, constantly flowing. Yes, it is the best for bacterial. But here's the thing. I have everything I believe in, everything I've built out there, all my filtration is trickle. We have one pump that pumps up. If the pump goes bad, we replace the pump. It trickles through the fiber floss, it trickles through the biological media, and then it comes back to the pond or the tank or whatever. I believe in that 100%. That is the most efficient, cheapest way to filter your pond. Now, here's the difference between the two. The electricity goes out. Your fiber floss stays wet. Your bio balls underneath of it stay wet for up to like, I don't know, 2 days. Anytime after that, you need to put a bucket of water through it or your bacteria ends up dying. It needs to stay wet with air, right? Here's the problem on the Steve Bashy way. And I love him. He's a great guy. But if the power goes out, your K1 material is underwater with no air. They're going to die within hours. All the little bacteria. So you have to plug something in and pump water through. You don't have to do that on my method. My method is more efficient, cheaper, and won't die for up to 2 days because it stays moist inside there, right?
One of the things people don't take into consideration that the biological bacteria have a oxygen demand.
Oh, they have to have an oxygen demand.
Okay, in your rotating biofilter,
they're getting oxygen by the flow going through.
But the surface area is still only
very
this big.
Small.
Okay.
No, sometimes it's only this big around on a thing, right?
The whole thing is one big surface area of water. You've got 1,000 times more water to air contact.
Right. Now when the power goes out,
are taking their oxygen from the air more than they are the water.
Right. But when the power goes out, that style of
it's dead water.
It's dead, and the bacteria dies.
Within a half an hour, the water's going to be stagnant.
The bacteria is going to die. In my way, you can have the power out for up to 2 days, and it's still moist in there, and the bacteria still lives. This is why I believe in the
especially if you got that polishing filter on top.
And I believe in the water trickle filter. It's so efficient. It's so good. Yes, their way is more efficient when it works, but if things go bad, it's dead instantly. And then not only do your bacteria die, you start your pump back up, and then your fish die because of ammonia poisoning, because of a high ammonia, then a high spike of nitrite, then a high spike of nitrates. We don't do that with this system. This system here is the I want to call us broke ass engineers. Okay, we don't have the money to run what these companies run. We don't have the money to do this. We do it as cheap as possible, and if people follow our lead, they're doing it as cheap as possible. It's most efficient under the electric. It's most efficient under the oxygen. And when the electric goes out, it will stay alive for a while. Have you ever had I don't know, let's say you're in a rainstorm and your car gets all moist and your windows, moist up, right? That's still enough moisture for your bacteria to live. Here's the thing. When the water shuts off on them, what do you want to call them? The Steve Bashy way of the moving media, K1.
Rotating biological contactors, but everybody sees those big
There's
fans.
A certain name for it, but I get it.
Remember.
That way, you don't have the reserved time. When that goes down, you have to find a way to get that pump running again to keep the bacteria alive. My way, if it goes down, you can be down for up to 2 days and the bacteria still lives. And, it's a great way to clean your place, and it's the most efficient. It don't cost you that much a month. His way is pumping water through there. Our water's drizzling through, you know.
Well, if you have to count on your backup kicking in
Bioreactor,
in order
thank you.
if you have to count on your backup power kicking in order to keep your system operating, then it's no longer backup power.
Oh no, it's your
I mean, if
main
you have
system.
to count on it,
Right.
then you have to have backup
Bioreactors, they said.
Yeah,
That's the name.
bioreactor. Right.
Yeah, I don't go for that because you don't have no backup time and it costs more to run it. My gravity system has worked for everything. I mean, everything in the fish room is now gravity down to the pool, and then the pool pumps water back up to the sump that gets pumped to all the tanks. So all my filtration on every tank is also tied in together with the pool filtration. That works great.
Oh, Suanne, you're mean. She starts
What'd you say?
talking about homemade Salisbury steak and smashed potatoes and asparagus. That's just mean.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
She's talking about food.
Jonathan Middleton says, Forrest Galante does do a lot for conservation, but I don't like him as I do have seen what he does behind the scenes. He's been over here a couple times. He's going to come back over. He's the one that's supposed to. Oh, am I supposed to release that information?
What? I don't know. I didn't catch it. So
okay, Forrest Galante is supposed to buy the Dwight Howard tank. You're the only one that knows. Don't tell nobody.
That charge got it out of here.
Oh, Suanne says, I called that. Well, he's buying a new house, and in his new house, he made it clear to his wife that I have my man cave, and in the man cave, I want that tank. So Josh and him worked out a deal, and he's the one supposed to get the Dwight Howard tank. But you guys will be happy to know that in its place where the Dwight Howard tank is, we're going to set up that 2 500-gallon square with the tubes in between. It's going to be a beautiful piece for us. I don't like losing a showpiece. Like, you know, it's you know, tank to tank. I don't like using that or losing it, but we have to. In this situation, we're more fish than we are reptiles, and we've got one snake in that tank. So, and it's a beautiful snake. I mean, that green tree boa is amazing. Wait. Tomorrow's video that I'm going to put out for you guys on Saturday instead of Friday is going to be about that green tree boa, you know, feeding. You're going to see him. He's amazing. You're going to see it. So I said, so glad it wasn't Jay. Jonathan Midland says, even though I don't like Forrest, but I will still watch the video you put out and like it as I do with every video. Thank you, Jonathan. You're amazing. Summer Lee says, you're replacing a showpiece that doesn't fit and replacing it with a new showpiece that will fit. Exactly. You know, that's going to be a showpiece of the tank. You know, that 1,000-gallon with twin tubes in between. That's a showpiece in itself. And then whatever fish we put in there is going to be a showpiece. It's going to be a masterpiece, a showpiece that stays here. You know, that Dwight Howard tank didn't really do anything for us.
I've seen a number of those style of tanks. And
never that big.
No, I have yet to see one where the fish actually use the tubes.
They go through it, but they don't use it to their, you know, advantage. Raheem says, so no more emerald tree boa at OFR. No, sorry guys, I don't think so. We shall see. we might keep it, but right now its home is scheduled to go to, Forest Galante. I don't know if I was. Wait, I don't know if I was supposed to release that information.
I don't think you were, but that's beside the point.
It's already too late.
Yeah.
Jerry.
No, the first, it'd be perfect in that tank to make the tubes active.
What's that?
Is put about 200 roseline barbs in it.
Or guppies.
The way they
or,
school.
Yeah.
No, guppies are too little. No, they don't school like that.
Roseline barbs get up to 6 inches. I've got 4 of them in the 1800. Yeah.
But when you get a big colony of them like that, they school together like starlings do.
Really?
And move in one.
That would be amazing.
And we could do it if we had enough of them. They already school pretty good out there in the Bellagio tank. But we don't have enough of them. I think we've got 8 right now.
Really? I thought we had 4. I never know. Josh does things and don't tell me.
Well, you can't see them to count them.
I'll be right back. You talk to the guys?
The mustache barbs are similar. Yeah, go ahead.
Mustache barbs?
Got another 15 years.
You mean the big rich barbs?
Is that what it is? You got a big big black spot on your side too?
I gotta put one on there.
Yeah, right.
I'll be right back. No. Oh shit.
Well,
all right, guys.
Fish are not hamsters.
I don't know if you see, but I am getting so much thinner by the day. It's crazy. So I just want to remind you people that how much I've worked to get skinnier. I mean, I used to have a big triple chin, and now it's gone. And now look at the, that shirt is so. Watch how big wider it gets when I lift it up. But it's smaller. This is all small. It's so much better. I mean, I can't believe that I was that big before.
Come on, big dog. Oil up and do some posing for us.
Oil up and do some posing.
Yeah.
That has never been said to me before.
Pretend you're a Schwarzenegger.
Wow. I'll be right back.
Here we are again. Yeah, when I bought this shirt, I weighed 180 pounds. And it fit me. Still nice and comfortable. Jonathan Middleton asked how long I've been living at OFR. In October, it'll be 4 years. So I've been here long enough to just about figure out where everything hides around. It allows me to do what I gotta do. I take care of the fish. Keep the floors wet. But Hardy Jam asks if I've got a favorite plant. Other than pot, yeah, okay. Where are you talking, air plant or? Well, I like the succulents and cactuses as far as air plants, and for aquatic plants, I like some of the odd Anubias. A couple of the cryptocoryms I really like. I've got a Madagascar lace plant right now that's trying to take over the tank. I've raised a Barclay longiflora and actually had it flower underwater for me. Actually, a couple of these cryptocoryms we've got here will flower every once in a while. Oh, Reaper says, tell him how I met you. Yeah, the morning after I showed up, I'm putting some fish away in a little freezer that I brought with me. And Reaper walks up with his phone, as he usually is, videoing, and he says, "And with this elderly gentleman, how long are you here for?" And, and,
I remember that.
and I said, until Rich throws me out. And for once, Reaper didn't have anything to come back with.
Well, I told Reaper this was Jerry's retirement plan. Oh.
I asked my son what he thought of my retirement plan. He goes,
Well, you know what? Your son was a hell of a guy. And then you brought over your daughter. She was amazing. Loved her and loved the way she raised her kid.
Yeah.
You know, your grandson was amazing, very polite, very.
The beard hasn't showed up yet, so there's still one you haven't met.
One, okay. Well, the ones I have met were very respectful, very nice, and you know they cared about you. So that says a lot about a man. You know, I don't like you, but you know, if I didn't like you, you wouldn't be here, son. The point is, you raised great kids, and they've done good things, and I see that. I see the respect in the children and the grandkids even were so respectful. You know, I told your daughter last time she was here, next time she comes back, she don't need to rent a motel room or whatever, or hotel. She can stay in one of my spare bedrooms, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your grandson, he was amazing. He was so
He's a good kid.
respectful and so nice. You know, I tried teaching him anything I could.
Oh God,
and
he's a sponge.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
man, he wants to know. I love it.
All right, what are you guys talking about here?
Oh, somebody welcome people back. Harry James says any clown. Well, I guess I gave you a list, didn't I? Yeah, I like the plants, but I'm just physically not able to do it anymore.
What's that?
So, well, growing plants outside. I mean, I'd love to.
I would love to start a garden, but I don't want to take on the extra work.
No, there's no. We barely cover what we've got. Matter of fact, my tanks look like shit right now.
Harley Jim says you're getting that V shape back.
Yeah,
I never had it to begin with, but I'm getting it back. Yes.
Yeah, that's where you walked out of the room.
Okay.
They were saying whose shirt looks bigger, yours or mine? This thing I bought when I weighed 180 pounds.
Ooh, Jonathan Middleton says, how long have you been living at OFR, Jerry?
That was when I was talking.
Okay.
I was telling them about.
What's it been? Almost
about
4 years now?
Yeah.
Do you guys understand that I was doing a live stream by myself, and somebody was at the door, and I'm like, fuck them. They'll go away. And I kept on doing the live stream. And then it kept on going. I'm like, I'm going to have to go answer this. Guys, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. And I went and answered the door, and there was this fucking little old guy. You know, I'm like, who the fuck are you? What do you want, basically? And I wasn't that rude, but you know, that's basically how I brought the situation into. You know, hello, who are you? You know, what do you want? He's like, I'm here. I'm like, what do you mean you're here? He's like, I talked to you a couple months ago about moving in here and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, I remember talking to an old guy that I thought there's no way this old guy can keep up with the work around here. I didn't talk to you no more. You know, and he's like, well, I'm here now. I'm ready to move in. I'm like, look, sit out here. I got to go back in the live stream and finish the live stream. We'll talk about it. Since then, he's never left.
I told Rick, I'm here till you throw me out.
Well, I won't throw you out. You're a good soul. Reaper says, tell them how I met you. Oh, yeah, you told that was the story you were telling when you came out. Okay. Jonathan says, still working, though. Jerry, good man, can't even get youngs. I don't know what that means.
I consider it a compliment.
Youngest out of the bed youngest out of the bed these days. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're caught up. We're good. Now, you guys do got to know, okay, Jerry's an old man set in his ways. When somebody else comes in here, I have to teach them how to deal with Jerry. John hasn't worked out yet. Him and John are like almost mortal enemies. Basically, anything John says, Jerry has something to say about it. Anything Jerry says, John has something. I'm like, stop, guys. You both live here. Calm, okay. And it's just like it's taxing on me. It's like fuck. They're both good people in their own sense. They're both do good. I've known Jonathan. Okay, you guys maybe not know this, but Bird John. This is John. I've known him for like 35 years. And, we've done a lot of horse trading over the years. I bought my first bird off of him, the macaw, Big Boy. I miss Big Boy. I love Big Boy. I should have never sold him. I got my first dune buggy off of Bird John. He bought his XR 650 dual purpose trail bike off of me. I bought, guitars off of John. He got stuff off of me. Oh, shit. Tyler says, don't fuck with Beefcake Bob.
Been a while.
It's been a while, but you haven't been mentioned lately. Let's bring back your glory days. That's Beefcake Bob, everybody.
This babe is whooping my beefcake. It's about time for me to go take care of the fishy anyway.
But anyways, Bird John called me and he's like, look, I'm getting a divorce. I'm going through some bullshit. Can I stay at your house? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, is it necessary? Blah, blah, blah. I don't like to just offer it. And then he's like, well, I'm going in a month for open heart surgery, this and that, blah, blah, blah. She's gone. I'm not with her no more, and he basically left her everything. So I'm like, yeah, brother, you can move in here. So he's been here for like 3 weeks. And then he went in for open heart surgery. And then a week later, they let him leave. And he came home for 2 days. And then his leg swelled up bigger than his left leg swelled up bigger than his right leg. So that's a sign of problems. So then they told him to come back in. So we dropped him off today and he's back in the hospital. So, we don't know what's going to happen with that, but, that's who Bird John is. He's somebody staying here right now. Like the last person that stayed here was Skylar. Here's the reason Bird John's staying here. I try and help everybody out if they need it. Robert Stacy says, I will arrive and we will smoke at the peace pipe. Tyler curses, don't fuck with Beefcake Bob. Suanne says, I miss TJ. I don't know who TJ is. I think
that white cockatiel we had. Remember that little white cockatiel set at the end of the dog bone tank there?
Yeah, I remember that in the fish room.
Yeah. We had that white cockatoo.
I remember
and
he was
TJ.
a Moluccan cockatoo.
Yeah.
He had the pink to him, but I don't remember his name being TJ.
I'm almost positive that's what it was.
Okay.
I can tell you, that's who she's referred to. She'll straighten me out of the day. So he's a gangster? Oh, okay.
I tried not letting you see that. God damn it. I tried scrolling. Fuck. You guys are giving his head, bullshit. It's too much.
No, I learned a long time ago, you can't put me up on a pedestal. I'm the only one who can do that. If I don't like it, it don't go up there.
Jerry's a fucking badass. And then Tyler Kerr says, he'll kick your ass. He only come here to do 3 things: kick ass, chew bubble gum, and flood tanks. And he already flooded the tanks, and he's all out of bubble gum.
People keep me well supplied with bubble gum. Let's put it that way.
Jonathan Middleton says, when my license is up, I will come over there and give you 2 weeks of some free labor. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That's the first thing Rich said to me when I talked to him on the phone before I ever met him. He said, I says, well, I want to talk to you about volunteering. And he says, we never turned down a volunteer.
Never.
And I said, no, I'm talking about full-time volunteer. Come down there and help you out.
See, at that point, I didn't understand what you meant.
Yeah.
That I'd have to take care of you.
Yeah, you got to take care of it. I told him straight up, I'm easy, man. All I need is a recliner to fold down in at night and a place to put my
We still haven't found you a recliner.
No, we still haven't. Damn it.
I almost had one today.
Yeah.
This morning I was on the marketplace, and there was a free. It said free recliner, lift up recliner. So basically, it would come from the sitting position and bounce up to here.
Yeah.
And it was free. It was remote control.
Those things weigh a ton, though, man.
Yeah, but if I had it on the back porch, you'd use it. And I texted them, and they're like, already spoken for.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
Somebody come get it.
Yeah. Ooh, Jonathan Middleton says, I will come with my wife, Tasha. She watches the videos as well. She loves my fish tanks. If you come with her and she can sit with Tracy, now she don't have to do nothing with Tracy.
No.
But I watch Tracy every single day from 3 o'clock on until 7 o'clock in the morning, except for the nights that I have a night nurse. So if she can come out and just sit there with Tracy, and if something happens, like the alarm goes off,
then he gets work.
She could call me and I could run in from outside real quick and take care of Tracy. Basically like babysitting, but I would get so much more work done because I can work past 3 o'clock. Every single day I get up at noon. I sleep 4 hours a night. I go to sleep at 8 o'clock in the morning and I get up at noon. And the nurse leaves at 3. So if you're here with your wife, I can work until 8 o'clock at night. She can just sit there and watch TV, watch movies, and just call me. She don't have to do nothing with Tracy. She could just call me and I can run in from outside. It's so much easier to watch Tracy like that. But babysitters these days, they want $20 an hour. I can't afford that. Every single day, let's say 4 hours a day. That's 24, 60, 80 bucks, times 5 is $400 a week. That's ridiculous.
It's not even really baby.
Just so I can work.
Just listening for the alarm.
No, you're just watching TV, and if the alarm goes off next to you, you call my number.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
He says she would love to do that. It would give her a break from babysitting me. I'll be babysitting you. I got another 7 months left on my license and I can travel. Cool. Uh-oh. Rick said tornado just touched down a mile from my house. Wow.
Sure.
It's got to be windy out there.
Yeah.
See, that's what I need is like my last neighborhood. I was the guy in the neighborhood that everybody brought their car to. You know, everybody came by. The kids came by, got their chains fixed on their bicycles, you know. And I mowed like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of my neighbors' driveways. And then in the wintertime, I plowed it because I had a 4-wheeler. Everybody's yard was 20 foot by 20 foot and a single little driveway, you know. So I had all these toys. So I did all this for all my neighbors. And you know what? Somebody would have came over and watched Tracy so that I could work outside. You know, and it was just been like, you know, thanks for all the help you've given me. Let me do this for you. And now these babysitters want me to pay $20 an hour to watch Tracy just so I can work. You know,
It's too bad.
yeah.
I'm going to excuse myself, people, and go take care of the fish. Besides that, it looks like we got a nice storm coming in. Go talk to
What
the
are you talking about?
vendors.
Storm? It's 92 outside. Oh no, it says a little bit of rain at midnight and then none tomorrow. Yeah, there's no storm coming. Today, let me see.
All right. Stay fishy, my friends.
Let's see, Jerry.
See you later.
All right, it's going to be in the low 80s the next week. So our air conditioner will keep up. Awesome. I don't see no rain. All right, tomorrow is 88 with 9-mile-an-hour wind. Yeah, I don't see no rain. I don't see no storm. Okay, whatever. Whoops World says, "Hey, Big Rich, sorry I missed so much of the show, but I took the little lady out for dinner. Hope your coochies are feeling better." Okay. Thank you. I didn't know ribs were called coochies, but sure. Ah, 419 Royal says storms are in Sandusky area now, coming your way. Okay, well, don't show. There's a little bit of rain at midnight, and then nothing before or after that. Sue Ann said there's rain on Wednesday and Friday for sure. Let me look back here. Okay, it says Thursday here, and I can't get to that date. 15-day forecast. Okay. It says Thursday and nothing on Friday. So only 1 day of rain. Well, we've got 9 days to get this yard sale hooked up, and one of them is going to be covered by July 4th. That's tomorrow. And then the next one's going to be like Wednesday night is going to be all, you know, storm. So, you know. Whip says, wasn't it the knee, the face too, and could have sworn there was more than just the ribs? Yeah, there's 3 spots on my knees that are road rash. There's this spot on my shoulder that's road rashed. I don't know if you can see it right here. Then there was my whole side of my face that was black and blue, and my eye turned black. And right now I've only got this cut that they butterflied shut the first day, it's still swollen underneath that cut. I can feel it, but I can slap myself in the face. It don't hurt very much no more. But this cut has still got a knot under it, you know. Other than that, my knee feels good, except for when I bend my knee completely. Like, let's say you bend up into the fetal position in bed, I would rip my scabs open. There's 3 scabs on my knee, 3 different places. That is painful. So I haven't done that, you know. The ribs were the worst of all of it, but you know, everything else is healing up good. Core19 says both my boys are camping up by the lake. One was getting pounded with rain and wind. The other is closer your way. Said they have sirens going on. No shit. Ouch. Ow. Ow. Oh, let me get up here. Look out here. Oh no, there's no rain. There's no wind. It's good. Ouch. All right. Theo says, you guys going to come to Kentucky again anytime for the fish conference? When is that? Send me the info on that. I don't know. So I can't answer you. Core19 says, it's Ohio. Give it an hour. It'll change. Oh, shit. Hey, Rich, have you ever done RC crawling with trucks? Xanthi Ozab. Yeah, I've gotten into many different forms of RC. You know, helicopters, stadium trucks, racing trucks. You know, I had as a matter of fact, I met Steve Shin from Aquatica, which is a big, you know, saltwater, you know, system around here. I met him like 30 years ago, and I had a RC car that would do 120 actual miles an hour with foam tires on the street. It was insane. And I had at the same time, I had that car, but I also had all aluminum truck with, there was 12 D-cell batteries in it. And it had, I forget the amperage of it. It was ridiculous. As soon as you give it gas, it would flip over forward and land back on its feet. You go backwards, it flip over backwards, land on its feet. It was amazing with, you know, 8-inch tires all the way around. It was Quadzilla, it was called. It was amazing. And I upgraded it to the utmost. It was amazing. I sold that thing for $1,500. So Ann says, hey, Rich, did you see that Chattanooga Ed is making an action figure of Steve? No. I don't know who Chattanooga Ed is. And is that an action figure of your husband, Steve, or somebody else, Steve? I don't know. I've got a bunch of action figures on me. I don't know. Oh shit. Whoops World says tornado sirens are blaring right now for us, but there is no wind and the skies are clear. Ish. Oh, Theo says, I remember once a year you guys would come down to like Cave City or something for a big fish thing. Yes, it was the Mammoth Cave Aquarium Expo. I don't think they're having that no more. But yes, we went down there every year because the leader of that was a preacher, and he asked me, and I went down there, and we were the guest of honor. You know, we were held in the highest esteem. It was great. And since then, I became, ordained to where I can do weddings and stuff. So I am actually a, what do you want to call me? Not a preacher, a shit. I forget what it's called, but I'm ordained now, ordained minister. Thank you. I'm allowed to marry people, and that's what I wanted at my spot. And since then, the Mammoth Cave Aquarium Expo, I think it disappeared. I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't know. But if they asked me, I'd go down there. But that was once a year, yes. Well, Theo, get a hold of Mammoth Aquarium Cave Expo once a year and see if they're still up. If they are, we'll come down. It's 5 hours for us. They gave us a hotel for the weekend. They paid for all of our food, and I would drive 5 hours and be down there. PK Dovi says, "Hey Rich, please can you say hello to Lisa, my wife? She's your biggest fan and obsessed with wolffish. She's got good taste. I love wolffish. So here's to you, Lisa. Drinking to you. What's up, baby girl? Um, keep chasing your dream. You know, wolffish are amazing. It's hard to keep anything in with them. This is the only problem. But I like your picking fish. Here's to you, Lisa. And also, PK, you're a hell of a husband. You're getting your wife to get a shout out. That's good move, bro. Boudreaux 28 says, "Big fish cam in a pool, ever a possibility?" It is, but here's the problem. To do this, I have a computer in here to do the live stream. To do another video of like fish cameras, any camera at all. I don't care if I have 28 cameras and 28 fish tanks. We need another laptop, computer, whatever, out there, and then it has to be into the moist fish room. So it's always at about 50 to 60 degrees moist, which is not good for electronics. So, it's a possibility and we want it. We just got to figure out a way to do it. Taylor says, Bellstar? Is she here? I don't see that she said anything. Oh, oh. Yeah, I don't think she's here. Rosero says, Theo, Rich has so many responsibilities at home. It's really hard for him to get away for any length of time. If he's not working on the rescue, he's keeping an eye on Tracy. Then he goes, then he squeezes a couple hours of sleep in where he can, I'd have died 3 years ago if I had to keep his schedule. You see, do you remember when you were young and you're like, yeah, I don't pass out, I don't go to sleep, I'm going to drink with you guys all night long. Let's say you pass out at 3 o'clock and you're asleep and people are making fun of you. Yeah, I don't do that no more. I'll pass the fuck out if it gets boring. Period. If I don't have to watch Tracy, I'm sleeping. That's all there is to it. You know. Oh, Cheryl's here. Says, hi, everyone. I'm here. But thank you for recognizing that. You know, what that's amazing. People don't realize, you know, I do 90 hours a week with Tracy and I do, 50 hours a week. And they're like, well, that's more hours, blah, blah, blah. No, they overlap because I watch Tracy while being outside with my phone. I got my camera pointing right at her. And the problem is I have now only got one hand to work. So I can still get some work done. And I'm moving this, I'm doing that. As long as I can hear Tracy's TV or radio on, I can hear her, alarms go off. So I'm outside and I'm just waiting. You may be hearing TV talking. As long as you don't hear an alarm, you can keep working. But I only got one hand to work with. So I work 3, 4, 5 hours outside with one hand carrying my phone right by my head. So I mean it's a pain in the ass, but I do overlap the two where I watch Tracy and still work outside. It's just the problem is if you get too far away from your house, you lose, Wi-Fi, and then you're not watching Tracy no more. If your Wi-Fi goes out anytime during the day, you lose Tracy. It's a pain in the ass, and it stops you from working to reconnect and all this stuff. But that's how I do my 90 hours a week, taking care of Tracy, and then 40 or 50 hours a week taking care of the rescue. They overlap, So I don't know. I really don't understand how anybody else could ever keep my. So I says, say something. The damn electric went out and the room went black, and I'm sitting here trying to reconnect. What do you mean, say something? Here. Hi. There you go. How about that? I do have the Opas. They're outside and they're not hooked up to this computer. I should actually have a backup generator for this computer because our electric did just go out for a minute. That was crazy. Reaper called me. He's like, what's up? Damn electric went out. Oh, Sue Ann says, gives everyone time to pee. Reaper says, power went down for a few. He's trying to connect now. Just hang in there. Exactly. Go pee, everybody. We're back now. The Reaper called me as soon as it happened. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm sitting in the fucking dark talking to you on the phone. Shit. All right. What do we want to talk about now? Let's talk about some shit, people. Let's talk about when Whip is coming to hang out. Yeah, we're up and running. We're good. People are even talking on here. Harley Gem says, my dog knows got to be, well, Fishy Fridays. He gets a treat. Whips World says, not much, buddy. How's life treating you? All good. In the hood. What as good as it gets anyway. You back up? Do you see us? Oh, that was me answering the phone to you. There you go. I'm waving now. Hi, Reaper. Okay. Well, the point is, I'm back up. You just gotta either restart or rebuffer or something, whatever. We're good to go. Oh, are you coming out and staying during the sale? Yeah. Well, wait. Are you claiming one of the tents? Is what I need to know. Okay, so Reaper is claiming one of the tents. We got 3 tents open. He's going to be staying in his hammock and claiming a tent. So you got 2 tents open, guys. Yeah, we're back up. Suan says, hear you now. All right, see you, brother. Bye. All right, well, everybody who stays in a tent, here's the thing. You get an air mattress and you get to hang out with, Reaper and I think Suan and Steve and maybe Ricky and Maritza. Who knows? I mean, this is going on for days, so who knows who's going to show up here? Oh, Summer Lee says I can hear Reaper, can't hear you. Now it's up and running. Okay, good. We're all back, everybody. Rick says we're just now up and going. Depth chart says nope. Sonia says thank you on the phone. I was on the phone with Reaper, yeah. So there's still no rain here, but I mean, obviously our electric went out for a minute. We're back on. Tell you what, I was working out with these trains, that I've collected and trying to get them. I checked out the power controller, hooked it up to a track, a 2-foot track, and I put every single engine I had on there, and they all ran. Unbelievable. They all ran. It was crazy. So I was pleasantly surprised that every train that I bought actually works. It was amazing. And then 2 of them have sound modules on them in the what do you want to call that, behind the train? It's not a caboose, it's there's a train and then there's this coal car. Inside of that, 2 of them had sound modules that you had to plug into the main train that would, make noise. So it says, if we have to share a tent, we can handle Reaper. Tender. Thank you, Reaper. Thank you. You don't have to share tents. We have many tents and they're huge. They're big. The 20 by 7, I think it is, 6 foot tall. It is divided in half. Two couples can stay in there. We have two queen size mattresses there. Then the tent next to it is like 20 by 20, and it has 3 rooms in it. I mean, at least 2 people can share that tent if we need it. If we need it, I don't know. Whoever gets here first gets the bedroom. Then whoever gets here after gets the tent. You know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of who gets here first. And no, nobody's allowed to smoke or smoke cigars or smoke weed in the tents. They're made of plastic. You can't do that. That's why we put them on the other side of the pond in the backyard to where they're nowhere near the bonfire. Depth Char says, I don't know, tent don't sound too bad. Been a while. I'll tell you what, they're big ass tents. And you know what? At the end of a busy day, you can go and claim your own area and nobody's going to bother you. You got a queen size air mattress to sleep on. And then you get up and you come back and enjoy re-engaging with people, you know. Reaper says he'll be in a hammock. Whoops World says it's pouring here. We got back just in time. Rain on the bike sucks ass. You were out on the bike? What? No way. Whoops says I like tents so long as I'm not sleeping on the ground. The tent is big enough that I don't end up pressed up against the side. Oh my God. Listen to this. I went to one of Reap's parties many years ago, and we took the same tent that I got hooked up now in the backyard. The 20 by 20 is huge tent, big ass tent. We set it up on the hillside because we were drunk, and we put up the air mattress. And me and Tracy in the morning, this is how I woke up. I was curled all the way over into the tent on the side of the air mattress, and Tracy was on my back. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I'm we're all leaning this way because we set it up on a hillside when we were drunk. I told Reaper, he laughed his ass off at me. You know, he was in the big A-frame house. Reaper says, I bet is Steve first. You know what I'm talking about, Rich? I don't know what that means. The only thing bad, Nate says, the only thing bad about tents is loud people. You know what? You're completely on the other side of our backyard. There's a river, and then there's the other half of the backyard. Then there's a pond, and then there's a hill going up. These tents are set up back there behind that pond. There's nobody to bother you. I mean, if you go back there, it's quiet. You're way away from the commotion. Swan goes, Reaper, he won't go through to the back. Carly Jim says, I only do canvas tents now. There's a few different styles and sizes at the Voyager Center. I don't know what that means. And 419 Royal says, I hear there's been Bigfoot seen at the OFR area. Yeah, but that was only when, you know, Will Star was staying here. I ran around the backyard in my Bigfoot outfit, and he's been stuck on Bigfoot ever since. I started the Will Star epidemic, the whole video and everything. Bob Taylor says spent time in a tent in this disused munitions facility at Stennis Space Center. Wow. Harley says Voyager Central is my camp. Okay. Reaper says, who's falling in the pond? I guarantee Steve or Suan. I'm going to bet on either one of those. Bob Taylor says, back in the Katrina era. Deb Char says, I ain't falling in. You're my dude, Steve. Oh, Suan says, you might not fall, but you're going in. Oh, shit. Then Reaper follows it up with, Steve, you're first because your woman's pushing you in. That is hilarious. Oh, my God. You guys are the greatest. You know what? I absolutely love meeting all you people. And on my Friday Night Lives, it's just amazing. It's just, I love you people. All right. Whips World says, just the asshat neighbor who whines about crap. He ought not whine about back there, right? No neighbors are going to turn you in. 419 Royal says, I have a mattress that fits the bed of my truck and tent that hooks to tent. Maybe talk to the wife into camping at Oak Farm. Come on out. We have, 1.3 acres. You can camp anywhere you want by either pond. Come on out for sure. Melissa Perry says bonus points of both fall in the pond, both Steve and come on, Suan. Come on. Suan says it's on. Deb Char says we'll all be yelling from tents. Night, Reaper. Night, John Boy. Night. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Night, John Boy. Night, Suan. That's gonna be hilarious. You guys are the best. I swear to God. You know what? When people talk to me about my friends, I tell them I have the best set of friends. I swear I do. And to be able to say, I mean, seriously, to be able to say people love me from all around the world, it's an amazing thing. And it makes me feel good about myself that I've actually done good and tried to help people out and helping people become better people and all this. And people, just love me from all around the world. I love that. I thank you guys. You guys are the best. Maritza says, would you be approachable, Sue? That's fucking hilarious. She's like, last time I was there, you were non-approachable. This is great. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Harley Gem says, warms the cockles of your heart to be loved. Yeah, it really does. It really does. Maritza says, still waiting for my shirt, Rich. We need them made. Okay. All I know is I'm doing something with my son and building this, and then all these people from all over the world are just absolutely enthralled with it. And then, you know, it's nice to know that you have people from all over the world that think you're a good person, you know. So I can't deny that, you know. Kate Cat's Catering says, when is Forrest going to come to our? Okay, as soon as he gets his new house and he starts building his man cave, because he made a deal with his wife, the house will be for her, but he gets to build a man cave. In this man cave, he wants this tank. So they may buy the house. It may be a year, whatever. But when he gets to build his, let's say, tree house, the tank goes in it. You know what I'm saying? Reaper says bonfire Sunday. Yes. On the last day of our sale, we're going to donate everything. Whoever comes here on Sunday evening gets everything for free. Anything left, you take it all. Take it. And we are having the bonfire where, you know, that's the biggest bonfire ever. I mean, that thing's going to get 30, 40 foot tall. It's a huge pile of wood. We're going to, you know, go through that. Suan says, in my defense, it was 3 o'clock in the morning when Maritza came up to her and said, I love you. And she's like, oh, when you're finished loving me. I mean, she was head down on the table on the back deck. She was like this. And, oh my God. And then Maritza comes up and, you know, hugs her and says, I love you. And she's like, well, when you're done loving me, just, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Maritza said something, and then Suan says, I'm not very approachable right now. It was fucking hilarious. Oh. Cheryl says, best show on Friday night. Cheryl, how come you haven't hooked up with Reaper? What the hell? I told you to chase him. He needs that. He's not interested in chasing anybody or doing anything, but he needs to be with somebody else. Why haven't you done it? Answer me. Howard Jones says he loves you. Warm spot on the neck. Xanthi says, might come down and bring my friends, couple of girls and guys. Come on by. Nate says, is Forrest the one that wants the Dwight Howard tank? Yes, he is. Maritza said, it was so funny. It was a great night. It was a great night. Reaper said, my wife is here. See, Cheryl, what the fuck? Start chasing that man. Cheryl, Reaper's my buddy. I love him to death. I will never steer him wrong. I'm telling you that he is not going to make the first move. He's still, you know, it's some bullshit what he went through. Okay. Fuck his ex-wife. Fuck her. She's gone. You need to chase this man and let him know how he will be treated better. That's what you need to do. Do that. If you don't have a chance with him. I mean, I'm telling you, if you want him, chase him. Period. This is what he needs. He needs to be kick-started into the next relationship because he's in a moment of, I mean, this is my best friend, okay? He's in a moment of staleness. You know, what should I do? How should I handle this? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck all that shit. Cheryl, if you want him, go after him. Because he deserves somebody that treats him good. He's a good guy. He deserves it. Fucking chase him. Go chase his. I know at probably your age, you ain't going to chase no man, all this bullshit. But I'm telling you, the end result will be beneficial. Please chase him. He needs somebody that wants him, and you seem to like him. Please go after him. Get him past this point, okay? Even Sue Ann says, Cheryl, you gonna come over this week? Would love to meet you. Reaper says, you coming to the sale? Reaper's gonna be here, what, all 4 days? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Thursday helping the setup. Come on, Reaper. Actually, it's been me and Reaper setting up the sale all along. It's been ridiculous. But come on. I'm telling you, as my reputation online, I'm telling you, Reaper's a good guy. Okay. I've known him for almost 40 years. And you're telling me that you like Reaper, you would be interested in dating him, but you're not chasing him. I'm telling you, he's stuck in a situation to where he hasn't talked to his I think she's still his wife for over a year. Okay. The point is, I want him past her, and I need a new person in there. And you are that person, Cheryl. You express interest, fucking please, please, I'm asking you, go after him. I know at your age you shouldn't have to go after anybody, whatever, but please do this because you'll end up with somebody that is a good guy. Reaper is a fucking good guy. Okay? Please, just, I don't know. Okay. Fuck the OFR dating game. The whole point is Reaper's a good guy. And if you want him, do a little bit of chasing. And then he will sway away from, the bullshit he's thinking right now. Okay. He needs this. You need this. God damn it. Cheryl, fucking call him right now. Oh, Nate says, sounds like Reaper just made a move calling her his wife. Hell yeah. Reaper needs some loving. Everybody needs some loving. Okay. Suanne says, I think she just needs to show up. She does. Suanne says, I think, she's in the show. Okay. Tyler says it's the over dating game. Reaper says, we have been talking. She had dental something done. She's been hurting. Oh, really? So you guys are talking. Well, can your first date be over here where I can put it on video? Come on, guys. I want to show you guys together. I think that you guys will make a beautiful couple together. She's interested in you, Reap, and I would love that. Carly Jem says, I need some loving too, but too far away. Harley, we love you. Would love to set you up with somebody, okay? Reaper kind of mentioned they are one of his videos. Okay. Reaper says, oh, hell no. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Did I read it wrong? Hello? Who? Yeah, I'm doing a live stream right now, so I can't really talk. All right, buddy. All right, thank you. Bye. Nate says, well, I'm going to go watch some fireworks. Have a great Fishy Friday and a happy Independence Day, everyone. Thank you, Nate. Yeah, it's not July 4th here until tomorrow, but you know, you guys around the world have different hours. All right. So, Reaper, are you coming out and spending the weekend on the live stream? Are you taking up one of the tents? I mean, let me know what's going on. Still no response. All right, guys. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock. We're out of here. I want to go inside, take care of everything. I've got a nurse till 11. Oh, he says we'll talk. All right. We're gonna have a nurse till 11 tonight, so I can go in and call Reaper and we'll talk it out, figure out everything that's going on for next week. But this week, we're having do you guys remember the guy that I said this earlier, so I'm just repeating it. The guy that went, he asked me if, you know, where can I pee? And I told him, walk off the deck, go to the woods and pee, and then this is so funny. He goes, okay, and he left, right? And then he calls me like 20 minutes later. I mean, it's been a long time. He calls me, he's like, dude, I'm like, what? He goes, fuck, I fell down. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, I'm fucked up. And I'm like, okay, where you at? And he goes, I'm at a church. I'm thinking, you know, I told him, walk off the deck, down the stairs, over to the wood lines. And he tells me he's at a church. I'm like, dude, how the fuck far did you walk into the woods that you find a church? I don't even know that there's a church around my house. I've never seen one. He's like, dude, it was crazy. And I'm like, oh, he's like, dude, I'm at a church. I'm like, I don't know of any church around here. And then I hear him and he's like, oh, ow, ow. But I heard it on this ear too, not only on the phone. So I'm like, dude, you're close enough to where I can hear you. There's no church around me. He's like, bro. Yeah. It was fucking hilarious. I get up and I start walking that way and find out that he never even left the deck. He did not walk down the stairs. He did not walk over to the bathroom to pee. He walked off the side of the deck and face planted into the ground, passed out for like 10 minutes, and then wakes up and he's like, dude, I'm by a church. I'm like, what do you see? And he's like, I see lattice work of a church. I'm like, dude, there's no church around me. I don't, how fucking far did you walk into the woods? You know, and then I hear him moan, and you know, it was fucking funny. I go walking off to the side of the deck, and he's laying right there. He did not even make it to the steps. He walked off the end of the deck and face planted right into the grass. And he moved a little bit and saw the lattice work of the deck and thought he was at a church. This is fucking hilarious. Anyways, so now mind you, I think it was me, was it Sue Ann or Rick? Ricky and Maritza. I forget which couple was here. But we were laughing our asses off, like, where the fuck are you? We couldn't figure it out. And then finally he says this shit, and we bring him back up. And this is the funniest night of our life for like 6 years. I mean, it's been fucking hilarious. We get him back up, and he comes back on, and he's like, this is the greatest night of my life. He's just having so much fun. Well, they're coming back. They're coming tomorrow for the 4th of July. Him, his wife, and his wife's girlfriend are coming back. And I don't know who else is going to be here, but they're bringing some, fireworks to set off. I'm buying all the food, whatever. But the point is, they're coming here, and we're going to have another really good drunken evening tomorrow night, July 4th. So I'll try and put as much of the video on there as possible. But you guys are getting a video tomorrow morning instead of Friday. It'll be Saturday morning. Okay. I do have to get up and put an ending because I only got like 8 minutes. I have to do an ending to the video in the morning, so it might be released around noon to make up for Friday's video. I'm very sorry, guys. Marissa says all of us were there. It was so fun. He wanted to give Big Rich a hug and fell on his ass. Yeah, that happened. All right, we're back. Raheem says, happy 4th of July, everyone. Summerlee says, that'll still be morning for me. That's okay. Tomorrow's tomorrow. But I'm out of alcohol. That means I'm in my 4th drink, and I'm done drinking because I got to watch Tracy all night tonight. So we're out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I mean, I love this is like the highlight of my week. Thank you guys. Over here.